Colts zone with a shot. Chartrand in and out of the glove. He gets his first touch. And Arnsby now behind the net. Tries to get it out front for Van Stiesel to Wakely. Dallin Wakely gets a goal. That's 2 games in a row for Wakely. Or as they said on Cogeco the other day, Wakey Wakey. There's Dallin Wakely.
Wakey Wakey to the fans here. North Bay is Dallin Wakely is 16th on this season.
Jackson ultimately coming away with it. Left for Russell with a shot. Blocked aside by Chartrand. Coe now. Over to Mathurin, and Mathurin with the shot, and he gets it out front to Jackson. Mathurin missed on the shot, but he was able to get Chartrand down and get it back behind him. And Kyle Jackson inching ever closer to the 30-goal plateau. It's dug out there by Tarasevich. And it's out front for Potaloo, Michael Potaloo. And within 20-some seconds, the Battalion make it 3-0.
Michael Potaloo, 7th of this season. Great rookie campaign for Michael Potaloo.
Cardwell in the corner. And somehow rolls out front and gets in behind for Beddick. It's now 3-1 Barrie on the strangest looking goal I have ever seen.
Ethan Cardwell just throwing it on net from the corner where the troops come out for the change. And that's going to be Cardwell's 21st of the season here.
Jackson skating through the neutral zone. Chips it in for Coe. Coe coming in. Coe with the shot! The Brandon Coe show continues as that puck was in and out of the net really quick. And it was almost like the last goal where we were like, did it go in or not? But the referee signaled it's good goal and the light came on. Petrov now picking it up. Petrov coming in with some speed. Petrov all alone. Petrov with the shot! And Matvey Petrov makes it 5-1 North Bay as he beats Lalama on the breakaway.
Petrov with his 36th of the season. Great job using his body to protect the puck there.
Clark looking for some options. He skates it over to Cardwell. Cardwell with the shot hits the post. And it hits someone in front and bounces back into for Beddick's net. So it's now a 5-2 game with 16-14 left in the third. Jackson, who just lets it go for Coe. Coe out front to Russell. Russell looking for an open lane. He can't get it through. Jackson scores his 2nd of the game. And Kyle Jackson once again getting closer to that 30-goal plateau. And it's 6-2 for the North Bay Battalion. Cardwell quickly going the other way. Cardwell, the guy with the fluky goals here this evening. And they get another one as Cardwell got it back to Clark and it beats Joe Verbedic. It's now a 6-3 hockey game. And it's going to be 10 seconds left on the clock. Punnet's going to go after it. And that's going to be about what does it here as Jodwin carries it through the neutral zone. The Battalion are going to skate away with these ever-important 2 points on the Barrie Colts as the troops win this one 6-3 here at North Bay Memorial Gardens. Next up, the Mississauga Steelheads on Thursday.
Well, Thursday has arrived, and the North Bay Battalion and Mississauga Steelheads are in Memorial Gardens tonight for a key matchup in the Central Division. Welcome to our game day broadcast. This is the pregame show for Long's Maple Syrup. I'm Bob Coles along with Derek Lindeman, and it's a huge one for the Battalion and the Steelheads. North Bay with a 5-point lead in the Central Division. So Mississauga only 2 games left after tonight. So if North Bay wins, they win the division, and it'll be their first division title since their first year in North Bay. That's right, it's been a while, 8 years. So a lot of excitement in the building as the Battalion try to clinch the division. Mississauga wants to make Battalion fans wait at least for one more night, and or 2 more nights, I guess. And we'll see what happens. It's also Battalion Awards night to highlight some of the strong performances by the Battalion players throughout the season, which has them in first place. Derek, let's talk about what tonight is all about for the Battalion. Only 1 division title. That would surprise a lot of people in their first 3 years. They won a playoff series in each of those 3 years. They won 2 series in year 2, and of course they won 3 and got to the OHL final in their first year, but only 1 division title. So it's been a while for this team.
It has been a while, and ever since that first year here in North Bay to win the title, they're on the verge here needing just 2 more points to close out the Central Division. both Barrie and Mississauga have opportunities to get the maximum 85 points on the season, but just 2 points away are the North Bay Battalion from clinching the first Central Division since that opening season here in North Bay. And to me, this is probably the best team that we've seen here in North Bay.
Well, regular season-wise, statistically, they would pass the points acquired by the Battalion in their second year, where they had 85 points. But that year, they didn't win the division. They finished tied for first with Barrie. They lost the tiebreaker. The first year, they had 83 points, and they won the division on a Friday night in Sudbury. So this would be regular season speaking. Not the playoffs. Of course, the playoffs are a different animal, but regular season-wise, this can be argued. This is the best North Bay team since the Battalion moved to North Bay.
Exactly. With one more victory, they'll hit that 40-win plateau, something they haven't done here in North Bay. So it's a big milestone just for the wins alone. But yeah, you talk about how good this team is compared to those of the past. It's just the depth seems so much better all around, the forwards, the D, two good goaltenders. So it starts right out from that. And you talk about the leadership, change in leadership. Ryan Houlihan doing a great job keeping this young team enthralled every night to come out and play excellent hockey, and that's what we're seeing. And they're on that verge of that Central Division here tonight.
Well, we'll hear from Coach Ryan Houlihan right now. Yesterday in our weekly scrum, and a lot of talk about tonight's game. Let's hear that now.
So knowing what maybe some fans are expecting tomorrow night, how do you sort of prepare your team, young team, for such a big game here at home?
What's everyone expecting?
Well, some people are talking getting that number 2 seed and winning the division. How do you approach this game?
Well, I think the biggest thing is approaching it as another notch. No different than when we clinched playoffs. You know, we knew it was a potential the game we were going to do it. We acknowledge it early in the week with the players, but then after that, I really don't want to talk about results to them. And that's something, you know, for me as a young coach, I've learned big time along the way that when you start talking about results before the game even happens, that's when you kind of, you know, get away from certain things. So we're just we talked about it already a couple days ago, and now we're just going about our business as usual, planning things like we always do, having our structure, our routine the same, and hopefully tomorrow night turns into a good night.
How important is it that all the way down, up and down the lineup keeps producing for you guys?
It's very important, you know, as the season goes on here, you know, you've seen a lot of our wins as of late have been 1-goal hockey games, and to get that extra goal from the third or fourth line has been absolutely crucial, and something that we're going to need going down the stretch run here. Anybody on our team can be a hero every single night, and I think that's what adds to us in terms of our strength.
2 years ago, you inherited a team that, let's be blunt, was not particularly talented and was the last place team in the league. Now you have a team that's top 5 minimum right now. What does that feel like going behind the bench knowing you've got the horses in front of you?
It's a good feeling, you know. It's when you go into a game and your expectations is to have success, having that belief right through the lineup, as everyone has alluded to, that trickles over to the bench, that trickles over probably to the town, the city, the fans. It's a good feeling, you know. It's been a lot of hard work. It starts with Adam doing an unbelievable job revamping our roster, and again, you know, it's I feel like my job is easy, being able to work with the staff that I get to work with on an everyday level. And you know, everybody sees Scott Ray and Bill Holder behind the bench, but what they don't see is our strength and conditioning coaches, our mental performance coaches, the routines that our players go through on an everyday basis to get better this year. It's something that we're really, really proud of.
We talk a lot about players evolving. How does a coach evolve? Do you think you've evolved as a coach in your time, as a head coach in this league? And if you can you quantify that? You know, how you maybe develop as a coach, what you've learned in the 5 or 6 years you've been coaching?
There's no doubt that, you know, I'm nowhere near I'm nowhere near the coach I was, you know, as a head coach for sure. My first year in Flint, second year, third year, it's evolving every day for me. It really is. I think the biggest thing is I've seen it all. Like, I really do feel like I have a really good grasp of all different, you know, levels of having success, having failures, seeing the big picture as a whole. So, I mean, we've done really good here as a group. You know, with our last 23 games or so, but we were talking about it just the other day as a staff. It doesn't feel like, it just feels like we've been going one game at a time, and then all of a sudden we look in the rearview mirror and, you know, we've had some success, and we just got to continue to approach it that way.
Sunday's game struck me a couple of reasons. You know, Barry came in playing the night before, and you guys really didn't give them time to get in the game. It was your young guys. It wasn't your veterans. Is that comforting, knowing that the whole team was ready to start the game on time?
It is, yeah, for sure. And it's, you know, we get our guys to talk about these things. You know, we've reminded them of what it felt like 2 years ago, and to really understand what kind of opportunity we have, and a fun environment that we have, and that anybody can contribute. You know, it's rare to have that. I think it stems because our group is so tight back there, and like you said, the young players feel like they can contribute and have some fun every single night as well.
I know fans have been in the building for a while now, the 100% capacity, but there's been some pretty good crowds lately. Do you think that has helped at all?
It's certainly going to help. We're going to need as many as we can go down the run. You know, I think the North Bay fan base and the town and the city, you know, we call it, we're going to need everybody here down the stretch run. I remember the runs we had 5-6 years ago of, you know, storefronts with Battalion signs. There's flags on people's lawns. There's the whole 9 yards. You went around this town and you knew it was Battalion hockey playoff season. And we're going to need everybody. Hopefully get as many people out here as we can.
Mississauga specifically, what are some of the concerns you have for them?
Well, it just seems like we've played them a lot lately, and it's probably not going to be a shock that you're going to hear me say that they're a really good hockey team. That, you know, the cause for them that causes a lot of teams issue is the way they play without the puck. They're a really strong, big, strong hockey team. They're built on the back end with big bodies that can really defend and be physical. And you know, their structure as a team is what makes them successful. So we got to fight through that. We can't get, you know, frustrated when things don't happen our way. There'll be ebbs and flows in the game, but we got to be prepared to have our best tomorrow.
You went down there, and we're talking a lot about back-to-back games. You played a back-to-back weekend and won in Mississauga less than a day after playing in St. Catharines. That's a real tribute to your players, obviously. Is there a certain style that you want to employ? You might not give it all away against a team like Mississauga, who does have the big bodies.
Well, I mean, there's no question. They're probably going to know that we feel like we got good team speed, right? And if that is our strength tomorrow night, I mean, that's going to be something that we're going to try to do. That's every single night for us, though. But playing a really good, structured, disciplined team, it's about having the battle level ready from shift one. That's the biggest thing, and moving feet and being ready to win pucks, because, you know, we're going to warn our players. They're going to be on us. They're a good hockey team, and you know, we just got to be ready for that.
Thank you.
And that was Ryan Houlihan, the head coach of the North Bay Battalion. And Ryan, you know, we talk about Coach Houlihan a lot, Derek, but it's the staff. They really work things together. It's really a team atmosphere, just like the team works as a team to win games. The coaches work as a group to win games. And you can't say enough about Scott Ray and Bill Holder along with Coach Houlihan.
When you're listening to Coach Ryan Houlihan talk, he always likes to redirect it off of him and talk about his staff and what a great leadership group it is, from Adam Dennis right down to Scott Ray, Bill Holder, and even the strength and conditioning, Maverick Parks goaltending coach, and just the two trainers on the bench. It's a whole group atmosphere, and that's what Ryan Houlihan wants and tries to promote as a group, that it's a whole team atmosphere, not just about one guy.
Well, it should be a good one tonight, and now a lot of awards are going to be handed out in a couple minutes. You know, it's a bit of waiting now for the players before the game actually starts. So is that a concern, do you think, for North Bay?
I think it's a concern in that it just throws off a little bit of the momentum and the original game plan. We heard Ryan Houlihan talk during the scrum yesterday, talking about getting off to a quick start and playing a full 60 minutes. You don't want to let the team kind of settle in and just fall into the the rhythm of listening to the presentations and kind of getting down and going down upon themselves. It's a big night here. They got a chance to clinch that Central Division, and it's key to get out to a quick start against this Mississauga Steelhead team.
So again, the significance, North Bay wins tonight. They win the division. Mississauga wins. The division still is unclaimed, although North Bay is still in the driver's seat. They'd have 4 games left. Mississauga just 2 games down the stretch. So should be a dandy as the Battalion start their 2-game week. They'll be in Barrie on Saturday night, and then the home season finale with awarding the billets. That'll come up next Thursday night against the Oshawa Generals. Their last 2 games are on the road in Sudbury and Oshawa. In our intermissions tonight, we'll have the Frontline podcast, what was on this week. We'll detail that. We'll also talk to Grayson Ladd and Dom DiVicentis in the second intermission. Right now, though, we're about to get underway for the game, of course, but before that, the team awards are being handed out. Big trophy at center ice, along with plaques for some of the other award winners. And PA Brian Floyd's going to take over now as we learn who the top award winners have been this season.
Tonight, we recognize individual player achievements for the 2021-22 season. Presented by Steph Silverthorne, Academic Advisor from Chippewa Secondary School. The winner of the Judy Smith Award for Scholastic Player of the Year, number 16, Owen Van Stevenson. Presenting the winner of the awards is a long-time Battalion season ticket holder, Andy Poeta. The winner of the Jerry Callahan Memorial Award is the Battalion's Humanitarian of the Year, number 14, Talon Winkley. The Don Hockey Hadley Trophy was created in 2004 in memory of a man who was a special supporter of the Battalion. This trophy is presented annually to the fans' favorite player is determined by a vote. Presented to the fans' favorite player, number 24, Ty Nelson. The Overage Player of the Year, number 27, Mitchell Russell. The Rookie of the Year, number 24, Ty Nelson. The most sportsmanlike player, number 22, Matvey Petrov. Defenseman of the Year, number 24, Ty Nelson. And the Battalion's most outstanding player for 2021-22, number 21, Brandon Cole. Ladies and gentlemen, let's congratulate our 2021-22 individual award winners.
right in a list of honorees as the fans rise for the national anthem. Congratulations to all the battalion winners, well deserved. A great job on the anthem, great awards ceremony, recognition for some of these top battalion players. The biggest game in these parts in a while, a long time, maybe 5 or 6 years for sure. Probably since Game 7 of Year 3 when the battalion played Peterborough. North Bay won that night. Let's see if they win tonight. A chance to claim another division title, their second in their history here in North Bay. And to call it, Matt Sukram and Courtney Kenning.
Thank you very much, Mr. Coles. And as you alluded to, this is a chance for them to clinch the Central Division title. And Matt, the top song at the time was Happy by Pharrell Williams. And the top movie in 2014, March 2014, was Mr. Peabody and Sherman, which only grossed $20 million, and it was in the second week at the box office. I'm a big box office fiend, so I really want to check that out. So a little bit of a different landscape today for them if they were to clinch a spot. But yeah, so we could get very well with here with the North Bay Battalion clinching a Central Division championship, or banner, I should say, as we just get situated here in the booth a little bit and get ready for the game. And so the North Bay Battalion are about to take on the Mississauga Steelheads. Sorry, Matt. Joe Verbetic here with a starting goaltender in Roman Baster. And although our buddy Derek Lindemann likes to have a little bit of fun here and put T. Woods on the board. So we're looking for a T. Woods out there, and then we're like, wait a sec. That's not T. Woods. That's Tiger Woods, and he's in the Masters.
Yeah, he might be a little busy to not come play netminder for the Mississauga Steelheads. I was going to say, the battalion hoping that tonight is a happy outcome for them. And, Mr. Peabody and Sherman might not have been the hottest ticket at the box office, but the battalion were certainly the hottest ticket in North Bay. As a shot comes in on Verbetic, he makes the save. 14 seconds into this one, no score between the battalion and the Mississauga Steelheads. And remember, back then in 2013-14, it was the battalion clinching against division rivals, the Sudbury Wolves, and they're trying to do it against another division rival here tonight against the Mississauga Steelheads, who at one point or another this season looked like they might be challenging for a Central Division crown, but certainly not the case right now, as the North Bay Battalion have leapfrogged them, as well as the Barrie Colts, the Niagara Ice Dogs, and the Sudbury Wolves all chasing the North Bay Battalion. Play underway here in the North Bay zone. They flip it out, and it'll go the length of the ice. Picking it up on the back end is Larson for the Steelheads. Flips it into the corner. Del Bell Belouse trying to get it out. It's kicked around some skates. North Bay keep it in at the line, and it's stopped by Bassran and just softly played over to Del Mastro. And Del Mastro for the Steelheads will make his way down the right wing side, and he tried to get to you, Baird. He missed his stick, so it's picked up by Mathurin, and he sends it the other way. Van Steensel going in on the left wing side. Stops at the half boards. Goes to the line. Sends it across the zone. Skating in the shot. Save made by Bassran. That shot coming in hard from Grayson Ladd off the bench. Now it's Ladd again with a shot. And a save by Bassran as he kicks the puck into the near side corner. At the line, Mathurin keeps it in for North Bay. Sent around to the far side boards. Getting there is Bjork Vikholm. Gets up to the line and kept in by North Bay. Sent around to the near side boards. Van Steensel in on the forecheck. The puck comes down to the point. It's Mathurin. He fires it in. It's kicked wide of the net. Picking it up on the far side is Dodig. He gets it up to the blue line and cleared out of the zone. North Bay back in control as they dump it in. We're a minute 40 in. And the official's going to call that one icing against North Bay.
Well, Matt, we talked about the clinching scenario last time, and that was in Sudbury, of course, and that was my very first time taking in a road game. Drove from North Bay to Sudbury, which of course we all know isn't the longest drive, but went with a couple of friends, and we accidentally sat. We didn't know where we were going, so we could only get standing room, and we stood down in the Wolves zone, so we were the only green jerseys down there, and we were like, we're not getting out of here alive.
North Bay win the draw, coming down the ice. Petrov, shot from the left side, and that one's high. Down to the point. Paul Christopoulos keeps it in, flips it around the boards. Looking for it is Petrov. He tried to hold it on the boards. It's taken away by the Steelheads, and they clear it out to the neutral zone. Petrov picks it up at his own blue line. He heads back down the other way. Driving in on the right side towards the net. Kick save made. Rebound chance denied as well. And a third whack at it by Tarasevic is blocked as well. In behind the net. Played around to the near side. Vesia gets it out and down the ice. And no icing will not be called here, as the Battalion will have to play it out. Paul Christopoulos turns it over in front of his own net, but he gets it back quickly and sends it down the ice. Sema is able to get there and chips it down. Inside the Mississauga zone now. It's the Steelheads in control. They break out again. Stubbs from the right wing side fires it in. Blocker save made by Verbetic. 3 minutes in as the Battalion get the puck back out of the zone. Del Mastro trying to bring it in. That gets blocked, and it's Stubbs now picking it up and going back into his own end to create some space. Stubbs from his own blue line. Backhands it into the neutral zone. Coe blocks it, gets it up to the line, but Del Belbalouz finds the loose puck, and they'll retreat, and the Steelheads will try again. 3.5 in, no scoring in the first period. Now Uberti down the right wing side, the former Niagara Ice Dog plays it to the near side to Del Belbalouz. Across the left side, rushing in. Wide open, Hardy at the side of the net, and he buries it, and it's 1-0 Mississauga as the Battalion completely forgot about Hardy right on the goal step.
Yeah, that's just a really messy goal for the North Bay Battalion, who couldn't get anything really going as Hardy picks up his 39th goal of the season for the Steelheads. So they're the team coming out flying here, although it didn't look like they really had many dangerous chances until that moment. But completely wide open net, Matt, and the North Bay Battalion, of course, suffering from that as they find themselves down now 1-0 with 16:20 left in the first period.
Not the start the Battalion we're looking for here at Memorial Gardens, and so they will try again. Into the North Bay zone, it's Hardy, the goal scorer, sends it around to the near side, picked up there by Del Belbalouz. Uberti trying to help him out, but the Battalion get it out of the zone and get it down the ice. Russell chips it in, Jackson chasing. Del Belbalouz gets to the puck, or check that, Bjork Vikholm gets to the puck, and he sends it up to Uberti. Uberti down the right wing side, back into the attacking zone, down into the corner. Now behind the net, to the far side, to the point. Shot comes in, that gets stopped in the middle, and North Bay breaks out of the zone with numbers going the other way. Coming in is Wakely, he's got his step. Wakely drops it back to the slot, and the shot goes wide. A hard back check dislodges the puck off the stick of Grayson Ladd, and another one comes in, and that one is saved by the goaltender as well. Ladd now having a chat with the official. I don't know if he ever actually got a shot off, as I believe it was Zachary Lavoie that got his stick in the way, but man, he got a lot of the stick and a lot of Ladd as well.
Yeah, that was a pretty rough chance there for the Battalion as they had themselves a good scoring chance like you mentioned, but then Ladd couldn't get the shot away, so he's arguing for a penalty, but none's coming his way. And the Battalion, one thing about this game is that they think that they have the legs to keep going. As Wakely comes in with a shot, just missing the net, they think that they have the legs to get going here against the Steelheads. As one of the games that they played, their fourth line, the Steelheads, one player only had 45 seconds of ice time in the entire 60 minutes.
Sent into the North Bay zone. Ty Nelson on the far side boards, looking to control the puck. He flips it back along the end boards for Paul Christopoulos. And he sends it back up the middle for Wakely. He dumps it in, sends it down the ice. And the Steelheads just go back the other way with Lavoie at the blue line. Sends it to the corner. Shot comes across the zone, picked up on the near side by Petrov of the Battalion. And he tries to get it out of the zone. He is successful in that, but it's right back in. Coming in on 2-on-1, the Steelheads. There's a shot. They score! It's Kai Schwint with the goal, and it's 2-0 for the Steelheads, 5.5 in.
The second goal, or I should say the 12th goal for Kai Schwint here of the season. And it's just not the start the Battalion we're looking for here with 14:30 left in the first period. And again, just not the look. He came in on a bit of a 2-on-1, and then he showed shot really early and was able to beat Verbetic over the glove or blocker side. So not the start for the Battalion, and you have to think that Ryan Houlihan's going to be looking at his down the bench at Dom DiVincentis at some point if this keeps up, as Joe Verbetic's only made 2 stops on 4 shots.
I mean, that is a tough way to start the game on a night where the team is pumped up, the fans are pumped up, and really it's the Steelheads who have taken all the momentum to begin the game. Coming down the ice is Podolou. He sends it up over the blue line and is stopped in his tracks right there, and the Mississauga Steelheads go the other way. There's a shot. That gets blocked. It was Adrian Pruder that missed on that one, and now the Battalion on the exchange. Petrov sends it in. Save made by the goaltender Basran, and now on the far side boards, Ladd looking for it. He can't hold the line. Down the ice is Larson, and Ladd on the back check knocks it away from him. Battalion back in control of the puck. They get out to the neutral zone. Stolen coming in over the blue line. And there's no offside call here as Mississauga never cleared the zone. But I guess they're saying the puck never came over either. Play continues now as the Battalion go the other way. Seema's shot goes wide. Down at the near side. Mathurin gets a shot in. That's blocked by Basran. North Bay pick up the rebound. They have control of the puck in the near side corner. Seema battling for it over there. Outwater gets it. Outwater comes out in front. Takes a shot. And that gets blocked, and the secondary chance is denied as well. And now it's the Steelheads who have the puck, and going the other way is Chisholm. He dumps it in towards the goaltender Verbetic, and it's picked up here by Mathurin. He tries to get a pass down the ice. It's out of the reach of Jackson, and icing will be called against the Battalion here. 12:51 to go in the first. 2-0 Mississauga.
So just in the head-to-head matchup, James Hardy had the first goal of the game against the Troops, so that means he's got 7 goals in 10 games played against North Bay, along with 5 assists, so that's 12 points in those 10 games played so far. So he's had a great season series against the Battalion, where Schwint in 10 games has 3 goals, and that's his only 3 points as well. But yeah, James Hardy really become a Battalion killer this season.
I also looked at Basran's numbers, and he's had a pretty good season in net against the North Bay Battalion in the 6 games that he's played. A 2.35 goals against average and an 8.93 save percentage. And the Battalion trying to chip into those numbers a little bit, but they get stopped going back into the zone again. And it's the Steelheads getting it out. Uberti gets stopped by Jackson in the North Bay zone, who clears it. 7:40 gone in the opening period. Mississauga up 2-0. Russell trying to control the puck on the near side in the neutral zone. It gets knocked off his stick and it ends up in the Steelheads end. But Mississauga are in control with the puck, and they clear it up to the neutral zone. It's Max Dodig dumping it in. Verbetic behind his net. Flips it around to the near side. Van Steensel for the Battalion trying to get it out. And he does clear it. And it's cleared right into the Mississauga zone. They look to play forward. Beck gets hit hard by Arnsby, and the Battalion end up with the puck going the other way, but Chisholm gets it back quickly behind his own net. Flips it to the half boards. Van Steensel's there, puts it on net. Bouncing puck is cleared away quickly. Again, it's Callahan on it. And he sends it down the ice to Lavoie. Lavoie stopped on the half boards. Then he turns back and plays it all the way back into his own end to Bjork Vikholm. Bjork Vikholm gets it up to Beck. He heads down the right wing side into the North Bay zone. Stopped on the half boards, a couple of stick checks, and the puck is knocked away from Beck. North Bay going the other way with the puck. Darasevic gets it over the blue line, trying to get on a stick of Podolou. He lost it. It's in the corner in the ice Steelhead zone. And now it's cleared. Vecchia dumps it down the ice for Bedick. Flips it around to the far side boards. Tarasevic trying to get it out. It gets blocked at the line and dumped back deep into the zone. Picking up behind the net is Pruder. Pruder into the corner, being pressured by Podolou. He's got some help there. Vecchia joining in. Bunch of sticks in the area, and the puck finally gets taken away by Paul Christopoulos. Christopoulos up to the blue line. He finds Petrov. Petrov sends it down the ice for Podolou. Podolou gets over the blue line, sends a shot in. Glove save made there by the goaltender Bassran, who holds on to it for stoppage and play. 9:42 gone in the first. It's 2-0 Mississauga.
The North Bay Battalion are leading in the shot category 7-4, and they also it feels like they're leading the game in chances as well and in puck possession. But the Steelheads have just done a great job of capitalizing on their 4 shots. As we mentioned, they got 2 goals on those 4 shots, so not a great start for Joe Verbedic, and hopefully he can get better as the game goes on.
Off the draw, the puck is sent down the ice, and the Battalion will have to chase. Nelson back there, sends it around to the near side. Russell trying to control it off the half boards in the North Bay zone. And the Battalion finally get away from that area, and it's Coe going down the other way, over the blue line, to the right side to Russell. Russell tries to play it on net, that got blocked, and now Mississauga going the other way. Uberti tips it in and chases it into the corner. Now he finds Delbel Balouz in the corner. Delbel Balouz centers for Hardy. His shot gets stopped. Rebound chance denied as well, and it's kicked out of the zone by North Bay. 10.5 in, 2-0 Mississauga, and here they come again. Delbel Balouz gets it knocked off his stick. Picked up by Jackson of North Bay. He finds Winslow deep in his own zone. He plays it around the end boards, looking for Mathurin. Coming down the left wing side, he gets it to Outwater, and he dumps it in over the blue line. Quick exchange as the Ice Dogs go the other way. Lavoie going in, he gets checked into the boards, and then Mathurin gets hit for his efforts on the back end of that play as the puck comes loose, and it's all the way down into the Mississauga zone. Callahan with control sends it across to the near side to Brand. He plays it to Beck coming in on the right wing side. He gets poked off the puck by Mathurin. A nice defensive play by the youngster there for the Battalion. The North Bay Battalion trying to get the puck out of the zone now. It's around to the far side boards. Lavoie is there. Sends it into the corner. Beck gets checked in the boards by Ladd. And the puck gets up to the stick of Outwater, who clears the zone. Outwater sends it down the ice. And that line will change. 11.5 in. 2-0 Mississauga. The Battalion back in on the attacking zone. Van Steensel gets it knocked away from him, and it clears. Down the ice, it's going to be icing called against Mississauga, and with over half the period gone, we'll turn things back over to Derek.
Yes, Matt, through the first 12 minutes of play so far, not the start the North Bay Battalion we're looking for, as James Hardy and Kai Schwint have the Mississauga Steelheads up by 2 goals here, 8:11 remaining in the first period of play. Coming up in the first intermission, I'll be joined by Bob Coles as we take a look around the OHL. 2 other games on tap tonight, both of those between Western Conference opponents, and we'll also have a tidbit of the Frontline podcast, as this week Courtney Canny and Tom Parise sat down with strength and conditioning coach Kel Matty for a quick talk about his role with the North Bay Battalion. Now, for the conclusion of the first period, let's rejoin Courtney Canny and Matt Sukram.
Thanks, Derek. As Derek said, the Battalion down 2-0 here to the Mississauga Steelheads, and a win would clinch the Central Division title for the North Bay Battalion.
Yeah, and as we mentioned earlier, that the team hasn't been able to clinch since 2013-14 against the Sudbury Wolves in the second last game of the season. That was, and then they went on quite the lengthy playoff run as well. So hopefully, same things here, as we're getting a bit of a delay to start, as they're just able to get the ice buckets off now, as the rest of the teams and referees are all kind of looking down as finally the end boards are closed, and we're getting ready for puck drop again. So yes, hopefully the Battalion are able to come back in this one and be able to clinch the Central Division on home soil.
Just one home game remaining on the schedule for the North Bay Battalion in the regular season. They'll be back here next Thursday, and then that's it until playoffs.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to think that after all this time where the season's winding down and playoffs are actually about to start, but I know most of these teams are itching to get into the playoffs at this point because most of them have clinched. The only spot available now, I believe, is the 8th seed for the Peterborough Petes at this point. So, or Peterborough Petes or Sudbury Wolves. Those are the two teams vying for it. We all know Niagara's not going to get to that point. But yeah, it is a tight race, actually.
Sudbury with 4 games left have 53 points, and Peterborough with 3 games left have 58. So with 8 minutes to go in the first period here, the Battalion get the puck into the zone. Off the draw, Winslow tries to send it to the far side. It gets kicked to the near side boards, picked up there by Russell, and he fires it to the far side. Off a skate and controlled by the Steelheads. Almost turned it over the line, but Bjork Vikholm is able to pick it up, and he heads down the other way. Bjork Vikholm gets it knocked away from his stick, and the Battalion going the other way with Russell down the left wing side. Hardy trips him up. No call coming there. The Steelheads almost turn the puck over, but now Uberti gets out of the zone. Sent ahead to Del Bel Balouz. He falls down at the boards. Winslow trying to get the puck away from him. On the half boards, down to the point. Del Mastro keeps it in. Then Coe pokes it away from him. It's still at the line. Not sure if it's cleared yet. It's just right below us. And now Winslow clears it from that area. And he'll have to skate it back into his own end. Finds Nelson. And Nelson gets it out of the zone. 7 minutes to go in the first period. It's 2-0 Mississauga as the Battalion once again deep in their own zone. They recover and send it down the ice. Down the right wing side. Arnsby gets thrown into the boards and collided with the stanchion, and thank goodness a couple of years ago they decided to put padding on those stanchions between the photograph box and the benches there, or else Arnsby would have just been tasting plexiglass after that play. Ladd falls in the neutral zone, and the Steelheads look to go the other way, but Arnsby on the back check is able to get the puck away from Max Dodig from going in on a breakaway, and now the Battalion go the other way with the puck. 6:15 to play as they dump it into the Mississauga zone. Lavoie coming out of the Mississauga end, sends it to the far side to Dodig. Dodig gets around a hit from Ladd, going to the end boards. Another hit from Ladd, but Dodig is still on the puck, and now finally Ladd digs it out from the skates, and he gets it out to Outwater in the neutral zone for North Bay. Outwater over the blue line, knocked off his stick, and Mississauga sends it the other way. Vecchia down the right wing side. It's knocked away from his stick by Christopoulos, sending it into the corner. Now Schwint involved in a battle there. Couple of hard hits here. Vecchia holding it on the end boards. 5.5 to play in the first. Pruder gets it away from that area, tries to center it to Schwint, but it's knocked off his stick, and North Bay take it out of the zone. Outwater up to the line, fires it into the zone, but it's off his stick and way up over the glass and out of play with 5:24 to go in the first period. It's 2-0 for Mississauga.
And of course, not only are we keeping an eye on this game, but we're also keeping an eye on the Powassan Voodoo's first playoff game, as well as they are up facing against the Hearst Lumberjacks. They are currently up 1-0 with 13 minutes left into the first period. So, you know, a team that's very near and dear to my heart, and of course the affiliate team for the North Bay Battalion, the Powassan Voodoo, is currently up 1-0 against the Hearst Lumberjacks.
The shots are 7-4, and the Steelheads haven't had a shot since they scored their goal at 5:30 of the first period. Play in front of the Mississauga net. That's kicked away, and the Steelheads get it out. Uberti down the other way into the North Bay zones. Del Bel Balouz helping him out. Those two players stuck back there as Winslow and Nelson are digging away at the puck. It gets kicked around to the near side. Petrov is able to get it out, but he turns it over. Hardy's right there, and he fires it high. Picking it up is Petrov. He'll skate down the other way. Into the left wing side of the attacking zone. He finds Nelson, who puts it on net, and that's turned aside by the Mississauga goaltender. Now it's down to Tarasevic. He fires it to the far side. Petrov can't control the puck in the corner, and that allows Bjork Vikholm to have it behind the net. Tarasevic is back there trying to get it away from him, but he gets it around Tarasevic, and the Ice Dogs get it up to the blue line. They don't clear. Coming in is Russell up on the forecheck. He tries to play the puck, but it's taken away from him, and it's out of the zone now. Mathurin in the neutral zone on the half board. Sends it forward for Russell. He dumps it into the Mississauga zone. Dodig behind the net. Can't control it back there as Jackson gets involved. He comes down the near side boards. Jackson skates to the middle of the zone. Now he backtracks to the blue line and dumps it in around the end boards. Coe's back behind the net. He plays it into the near side corner. And now he gets it back behind the net. Tries to center it to Jackson. It jumps over his stick. But third at the blue line can't keep it in. Poked away by Dodig out to the neutral zone. 3:45 to go as the Battalion bring it right back in. It's cleared by the Steelheads. Mathurin chasing for North Bay. He'll get it in his own end. 3.5 to play in this 2-0 first period for the Steelheads. And they're content to just dump that puck in every time it comes up to the North Bay blue line. Mathurin tries the right side to Coe. Coe backhands it out of the zone, but very quickly the Steelheads get control of it and dump it right back in. Now Schwint on the far side board. Centers it. Pruder's shot goes wide. Ladd picks it up on the near side corner. Tries to play it down the boards. That gets blocked by Vecchia. Vecchia's shot is blocked. And now it's cleared out of the zone. Misa with it in the neutral zone. Getting past everybody going into the North Bay end. On the last chance there, Mathurin comes in and pokes it off his stick. And we've seen Mathurin do that already a number of times today. 2.5 to play in this first period as Mathurin will bring it out of the zone up to the red line. And he dumps it down for North Bay. They get some fresh legs out there with 2.5 to play, looking to try to cut into this lead before the first period is over. But the Steelheads, who are up 2-0, clear it again. North Bay in the neutral zone, fire it in. Evan Brand behind his own net finds Michael Stubbs, who gets it up to Misa. Misa over the blue line takes a shot fired wide of the net. Now Chisholm on the far side tries to center it. Nobody's there for Mississauga. And North Bay are able to get it out. Lukin on the clear. It's up to Tarasevic, who gets it over the blue line, but very quickly it's Callahan getting in the way, and Callahan goes the other way. He dumps it down. Callahan takes a hard hit right in front of the North Bay bench, and the Battalion use that time to get it around to the near side boards, but they can't clear. Uberti's there. Uberti trying to center it. That gets blocked. He follows it to the far side corner. His pass behind the net is blocked as well, but Uberti somehow gets the puck back again. Sends it back behind the net. Lukin's there. Plays it around to the near side to Petrov. Petrov in behind the net. Finds Lukin on the far side. Lukin up to the blue line to Tarasevic. And with 1:25 to go, North Bay breaks out of the zone. It's Petrov over the blue line. Drags it around. Petrov centers it, but he can't connect to Christopoulos, who is coming up late into the play. Petrov again in the middle of the zone. His shot fired wide. In behind the net. North Bay sending it front. Couple of guys on the doorstep, but Basrin finds it and covers it up for a stoppage in play with 1:09 to go in the first. Mississauga lead 2-0.
Well, the third line for the Battalion is doing everything they can to put together a good shift and get some great chances for the troops, as they're now up to 11-4 in the shot category with 1:09 left in the first period. So that third line doing what it can and really injecting this lineup with some energy. So we'll see if the first line here of Jackson, Russell, and Coe can continue on with that momentum.
North Bay trailing 7-5 in face-offs. And once again, it's Mississauga starting out with the puck, and they get it out to the neutral zone, carried over the blue line, and then it's knocked away quickly. But Bruder coming back in the zone, he dumps it in. No, they're going to call offside on this side. And I was going to say, it's interesting that that line is getting a lot of ice time, as that's the line that was on the ice for that second goal.
Yeah, and you know what? It's just one of the things where, with head coach Ryan Houlihan is that he has a lot of confidence in all four lines here, and he's just going to keep rolling them and letting them get out there and play because, if you lose confidence now, it could be a backbreaker with the playoffs right around the corner.
North Bay win the draw, and they dump it down the ice. Steelheads very quickly get it out. Pruder in the neutral zone tries to connect on a pass to Lavoie. It's broken up by Coe, but then Coe turns it right back over, and Beck dumps it in. 35 seconds to play in the first. 2-0 Mississauga lead. And they've really made the Battalion try to earn their ice time. in this period. It's been tough going for the Battalion to get anything set up in the offensive zone. Here's a chance. Russell's right there on the doorstep, but he can't get a shot off. He got it caught between his skates and his stick, and he couldn't get a shot off. And now Beck the other way, trying to go in towards the net, but Nelson gets in between Beck and the net, and he can't get a shot off. Into the corner with 3 seconds to go, and the first period will come to an end with the visiting Mississauga Steelheads up 2-0 in what you got to call a perfect road period for the visitors.
Absolutely great period for the Mississauga Steelheads, as much as it pains me to say that. But yeah, they had a great period of play, so hopefully the Battalion can go and reset here with these 17 minutes here in between the periods, and we can see a better Battalion team here for the second period as we turn things over now to Mr. Bob Coles for the first intermission.
Well, we talked about it, thanks guys, in the pregame show about, the Battalion. They're a young team, they're trying to win a division. They get told, some of their players, how good they are with the awards, and Mississauga just came out sharper in that period, really utilized their speed, I thought, Derek, early in the game, and not a lot of room for the Battalion. They had a couple of chances late in the period. I know what the shots say, 11-4 North Bay, but that's not the way it looked out there. It looked like Mississauga was out skating North Bay for a good part of the period.
Exactly as you said, Bob. The Steelheads came out a little bit hungrier in the first 5.5 minutes, getting those 2 goals early on to take the crowd kind of out of it, as it is a special night here in the Memorial Gardens for the North Bay Battalion. You mentioned the players getting those awards and just having that excitement in the building, the chance to capture the Central Division. It's just the Steelheads came out. It's that middle of the ice that the Steelheads seem to be dominating. They're clogging up the neutral zone. They're clogging up in front of the net, just not giving the Battalion anything to look at, and that's what you got to do as that road team. You get out to that quick start and hold on, and what a great first period for the Steelheads. They're up 2-0.
Yeah, scoring early, the big deal. Around the OHL, pretty quiet night tonight. Sarnia leading Erie 3-2. And also Guelph and Windsor, no score in that one. We will mention the Powassan Voodoos at last check, opening their playoffs in Hearst, were tied at 1 late in the first period. Just 2 goals in that period, as Derek told you. The shots 11-4 Battalion, no power plays, 8 faceoffs, 1 for the Steelheads, 5 for North Bay. The goal scorers, James Hardy is 39th at 325 from Bjork Home and Del Bell Blues. And Kai Schwint is 12th unassisted at 530. And not a lot of work for Basran in the Mississauga net as far as difficult shots. I thought the Petrov shot was probably the best scoring chance they had. And Mississauga's doing what they do. They're skating. They're a very fast team. And North Bay, do you think North Bay has to be a little more physical to try and slow them down?
Well, Mississauga does have a very physical back end. When you have Evan Brand and Del Mastro back there, those are 2 big body guys that like to play physical, and that's what the Battalion have to do. They got to get in there and weaken those defense. And the way you do that is get those pucks in deep and put bodies on their bodies and just kind of soften them up a bit, drive to the net, and cause havoc for Roman Bassarin in that goal. Make sure that he can't see the shot cleanly and try and see if we get a greasy goal there off a rebound.
Well, Derek, you and me, we've never been accused of being into strength and conditioning, but thank goodness the North Bay Battalion players are. And this week on the Frontline podcast, Courtney and Tom Parise, they host the show every week. If you haven't heard it, you can go back to the old episodes. You may even hear Derek Lindemann on one of those episodes. And wherever you get your podcast, check out the Frontline podcast. It's all North Bay Battalion related, so it's super stuff for the Battalion fan to check out. This week it was with the team's strength and conditioning coach, and let's hear some of that now.
It's your favorite podcast, the Frontline podcast. I'm back again. All right. It's Courtney Kenny. I'm Tom Parise, and we are back for his first ever tour of duty on the podcast itself. It's the strength and conditioning coach for your North Bay Battalion, Caleb Mading. And Caleb, I got to be honest, I don't think any of us know what a strength and conditioning coach really does. So take us through maybe a day-to-day event when you're working with the battalion.
Yeah, we work with a piece of the puzzle being their physical fitness. So we have Andrew Sachke, who's the athletic therapist. If they have something going on in terms of an injury, they'll go see him, he'll work with them to get them back to kind of square one. But we work to make their square one a better square one. So improve their fitness so that their on-ice performance has the potential to be that much greater. It's not something that I'm doing to be on ice to help them be better. We have sport-specific coaches for that, of course, and they would do a much better job than me. But I feel that our space upstairs to improve the muscular strength, fitness, aerobic fitness, if we need to get into some range of motion stuff, we can do that as well. So we improve their potential to utilize their bodies on ice. And then it's up to the rest of the team to take their pieces and put it into the puzzle, and hopefully that puzzle is better than another puzzle from another team.
How on a date do you work with them every single day of the week, or is it like you have specific days of the week where, recovery, rest, and all that stuff?
Yeah, good question. It's variable because each week's a little bit different with travel variations. If we're home, it's different. We can get some more time with them. And this is my first year with them. It's different this year from other years too, and I'm aware of that as well because their travel schedule this year is restricted a little bit compared to what they are on their typical year. So even though I feel like I'm trying to learn as much as I can about the league, I know that it's not quite as it is status quo.
Well, I'd like to dig in just a little bit about who you are, how you came about, and how the team found you. Maybe a little bit of your backstory.
Yeah. How deep do you want to go here?
As deep as you feel. I mean, how'd you get the job?
So I guess started with education. Started with a Bachelor of Physical and Health Education at Nipissing University. Had a passion for fitness through high school. Wasn't exactly a fit individual before that, and started to kind of figure it out in high school, and then just got obsessed and still am. So we keep going. BPHE, so Bachelor of Physical Health Education. I liked that. Wasn't sure what I was going to do afterwards. Thought I liked the therapy side of things. Had a placement with an athletic therapy clinic that I enjoyed, but appreciated that rather than returning to baseline where they came into me if they were injured, I preferred improving what that baseline was. And so then that ended up being strength and conditioning. I got into strength conditioning through Olympic weightlifting. So started to compete in Olympic weightlifting. There's 2 lifts, you have 3 attempts with max efforts in competition for a lift called the snatch, and then another is the clean and jerk. Competed in that, started coaching, a couple of coaching certifications while I started a master's degree, Master of Science in Kinesiology and Exercise Physiology, supervised by Jeff Hartley, and that so happened to be at Nipissing as well. It was the second year that they ran that program, so that was convenient, good timing. I also got to work with a couple of varsity teams while I was there and develop my skill set with strength and conditioning. As I was completing that degree, I was ready to work anywhere. So I was applying across the world. This was 2019, I guess, applying everywhere for anything. And then I applied to one job in North Bay at the time, and that was at Canberra College. They had the opening for a professor in strength sport conditioning. So of everywhere that I applied, the closest one, only one in like any province next to Ontario. You didn't apply to anything in Quebec or Manitoba. Closest was probably, I don't know, in the States, northern states, and then Vancouver. But all across the world applied, ended up staying in North Bay at Canberra College now, teaching strength and sport conditioning. And the connection with the battalion started in 2020, I believe, when I reached out to Adam Dennis. I said, hey, we've got a program running at Canadore. We have students that train and learn about strength and conditioning, and they have placement hours in their second year. Have some really good students and use some talented athletes and a seemingly well-developed team. If this could be a fit that works on top of the college having one of their pillars being community, this might be something that it's at a low cost to them, provides students, when I say them at the time, I mean battalion, provides low cost to battalion and provides benefit to the student, and hopefully it's a win for everybody, which often there's not a lot of times that we can have everybody win. So anytime that happens, we take it and run. So we did that for for a year, which was again strange because that was a COVID year. And then we kept talking, having conversations through the summer, and then that kind of flourished into me being on board with them.
I love how just serendipitous it was. It just kind of really worked out in your favor, especially applying all over the world, and like down the hall offers you a job.
Crazy. Never would have guessed. Like, I thought I'd be a flight home wherever I was.
So in that sense, you must have been over the moon when you got told that you had the job here at Canada.
It's hard to explain because I applied to a variety of positions. Some of them were related to sports science. Some of them were like at a relatively high level of strength conditioning with a professional team, because they'd have to have funding to pay for a full-time strength and conditioning coach, which is typically limited to professional in some sense. So applied to multiple positions in that way. And then there are a few instructor educational positions that I applied to, one in Australia, one in Vancouver, and then one here. So I didn't really know what was going to happen, and I knocked on a bunch of doors at almost all the same time. So we'll see which one's open, and then go through them and make the most of the journey. Don't look back.
No, absolutely not. So when you mentioned before, really getting into it, you weren't really, you're like, I have to do this.
I think my addiction is to performance in some sense. That could be academic, which fits well with my role at Canada, but that could be physical as well. And asking difficult questions sometimes, because the answer that this is how we've always done it, it isn't always a good answer. If we're trying to measure getting better, if we're trying to get better, did you get better from doing A? That's ultimately what we have to break it down to. If we improve from doing something, or if we can measure improvement somehow, then fantastic. But sometimes how it's always been done doesn't do that, then it should change.
And that is the voice of Caleb Mady, who was the guest of Courtney Kenny and Tom Parisi this week on the Frontline podcast. Recent guests, Brady Leavold and his puck support organization, Maverick Parks, who helps out the Battalion with goaltending advice for Joe Verbetic and Dom DiVincentis. And Owen, too, the two Owens, Outwater and Van Steensel. You never know who you're going to listen to on the Frontline podcast, wherever you get your podcast, whether it's sports, politics, wherever, look for the Frontline podcast. Courtney and Tom do such great work all season long, off season, in season. Be interesting to hear their playoff podcast coming up. So wherever you get your podcast, check them out, and lots of good stuff there. And as we move on from our intermission and we update the Powassan Voodoos, they are playing game 1 of the best of 7, Derek, tonight in Hearst. 1-1 after 1. And game 2 tomorrow, and then they play Sunday and Monday in Powassan, games 3 and 4. So, we've been talking about the Battalion. Of course, the Lakers had their playoff run for both the men and the women, and now the Voodoos. So it's a great time of year if you're a hockey fan.
It is a great time of year, and the Voodoos look for an upset. They come into that series as the underdog against the Hearst Lumberjacks. It's going to be a tough road for them up there in Hearst, playing on back-to-back nights, but hopefully a good crowd can get out to Powassan to watch those games Sunday and Monday. You can catch future North Bay Battalion, Chase, McQueen, Spence, and Radon Tatarenko in the lineup for the Powassan Voodoos. Always a great time out there in Powassan.
Of course, here it's 2-0 after one period of play. Battalion trail Mississauga with a chance to win the Central Division. If they don't get it tonight, they'll be in Barrie Saturday night. That's a 7:30 game, by the way, if you're making the trip down south. And then they're home for Oshawa next Thursday. And that's the fan appreciation game. The billets are awarded with flowers from the players that have been staying at their house over the hockey season. That's Thursday against Oshawa. And then they wrap up the season in Sudbury next Friday, and on a Sunday afternoon against the Generals again. So that's what's to come for the Battalion. Immediately, though, it's the second period. What do you think the coaching staff is indicating to the players in that locker room there?
I think you got to be happy with the final 10 minutes of that first period of play. They started getting a little bit of momentum, keeping the puck in the Mississauga zone, get pucks towards Basserin, and also get bodies in front of them, make it difficult for him to see. Like I talked about earlier, get some bodies, maybe hop on a rebound, try and get him moving east-west across that crease, and just keep playing your style of the game. And see if you can get back into this 2-goal game and maybe cut it down to 1 here in the second period of play. Next goal is the important goal. You can't give up that third goal.
Yeah, we're seeing in North Bay's attack, getting in front of the net, trying to bother Basran. But Mississauga, on the other hand, Derek, they're sort of not doing that. They're taking shots from 8 to 10 feet out, right?
They are taking shots. Only 4 on goal. They haven't registered a shot on goal since that second goal, but they are getting pucks towards the goal. The Battalion are doing a great job blocking those shots, not letting them get through. We didn't see either of the two teams on the power play in that first period, so that's something to keep an eye out, is if specialty teams come into play here in this second period of play. Battalion do have the advantage with the better power play, but it's going to be key. That next goal, it's always important. You don't want to go down 3-0 against the Mississauga Steelhead team.
And immediate pressure, too, is important. Because of the long change, if teams are able to tire out the D, they won't be able to get to their bench right away to change. And that can have an impact on those hard-fought battles in the corner and in front of the net and getting those scoring chances for both teams. So watch for that here in the second period. Mississauga leading North Bay 2-0. And I think Courtney and Matt have had a good break, so let's go back to them for the second.
Thank you very much, Bob, and you are very correct. We did have a very good break. It's over all too soon, but we are excited to get hockey back going here. So we can't complain too much, I suppose, as we count down to the final 30 seconds here before the second period starts. And as you heard Bob and Derek talk about, is talking about scoring chances, and the Battalion had lots of them. Just 2 mistakes ended up in the back of the net, and when you look at the shot total, 11-4 in favor of the troops. It's not like the Battalion didn't have their chances and the Battalion didn't control pace of play for a lot of that period.
Absolutely, Courtney, and I think that was one of the things that really opened my eyes was that I felt the bottom 2 lines got a lot of ice time in that period, but they spent a lot of that time in their own zone. And so I wonder how that kind of changes things up here in the second period.
It'll be interesting to see for sure as we are officially underway for the second period. First couple of seconds are in the books, and here's Matt Sukram with the call.
Coe from the neutral zone sends it down the ice, picked up quickly by the Steelheads, and they get it back out of their zone. Winslow into the corner on the right side in the North Bay end to our broadcast left here. It comes kicked out of that area. Nelson has it, sends it down the neutral zone for Russell. Russell, it's out of his reach, but then in front of the Steelheads net, they almost put it in their own net. Now a turnover and a shot, but it gets deflected wide of the net. At the line, Russell in the slot takes a shot, and it's off the pads of Basran and into the corner. Picked up over there by Uberti, and he gets it out to the neutral zone to Del Bell Blues. Drops it back to Hardy, back up to Del Bell Blues, trying to cut to the net, but Winslow gets in the way, knocking the puck off his stick. And now it's Arnsby behind the net with control of the puck. He sends it down the ice, and Basran decides to play it into the near side corner. Van Steensel to the half boards to Wakely, back in behind the net, out in front. Arnsby was there, but he could not get a shot off. Bjork Vikholm for the Steelheads dumps it down the ice. Icing called against the Steelheads. It's 2-0 Mississauga, and we're about 1:20 seconds in.
Very fast start for this period for the North Bay Battalion. Of course, no pucks have gotten past Basserin yet, but the Battalion have had their chances so far, and if they keep this up, one has to think they're going to eventually solve the wall that is Roman Basserin.
But again, Basran has had a pretty good season, specifically against the North Bay Battalion. Goals against average under 3. As the Battalion lose the draw, but they fire it right back into the zone. Sharp now gets it up to the neutral zone, and it's Beck in control of the puck. He comes down the right wing side and dumps it in. Flipped around to the near side boards. Bjork Vikholm trying to play the puck. At the line, he controls it. cross zone pass, but it's over the line, and so Evan Brand has to control it in the neutral zone as the Steelheads regroup. They come back in the zone. Hard shot blocker save made by Verbetic. Minute 50 in. 2-0 Mississauga. Still no penalties in this game for either team. Mathurin chasing the puck in behind the net. Flips it in the corner for Van Steensel. Sent around behind the net. Out in front. Brand's shot is blocked off the skate of Grayson Ladd. Into the near side corner. Couple of guys digging away at it. Schwint gets it out of that area for Mississauga. Plays it back in behind the net. To the far side boards. That's Pruder. Down to the point. Chisholm's shot. Check that Callahan's shot in and out of the glove of Verbetic. And now it's steered away to the near side corner. Potelou is there. Trying to find Mathurin. They've been stuck in their own zone for quite some time now. In the far side corner. Pruder trying to win the puck battle. He gets knocked around. Van Steensel finds it for North Bay and clears the zone. And he dumps it down and throws up the forearms, knocking down Callahan as that line will change. That was a good defensive stance by the Battalion. Obviously the coach would say too much time in your own zone, but they didn't give up a goal in that effort. And now Petrov comes the other way. Over to Potelou, whose shot comes in on the sharp angle. Save made by Basran. Picked up by Tarasevic. Tarasevic sends it in. Poke check save made. Christopoulos picks it up, tries to play behind the net as the fans are trying to get back into this one. Tarasevic with control of the puck at the blue line. Coming in, takes a shot, rips it wide. Potelou looking for it on the right side. He plays it into the corner for Petrov. Petrov flips it back down the half boards. Potelou's there, finds Christopoulos at the line. He skates to the middle, sends it to the left side to Lukin. His shot comes in, deflected, but off the stick of Potelou, but it's stopped by Callahan in front of the net. And the Steelheads are able to clear. 3:40 into this one. It's 2-0 Mississauga here in the second as the Battalion come right back in the zone. Chisholm tries to run over Outwater, but Outwater takes the hit and Chisholm falls down. But in the process, the Steelheads are able to get the puck down the ice. Larson comes in, centers it, it's off the stick and to the far side boards. Hardy picks it up to Delbel Ballou's at the line. To the left side, Larson skating in. He fires it wide on the net. Now Delbel Ballou's behind the net for the Steelheads. He's pinned there by Winslow. They're trying to get the puck out of that area. It's down the point. Delbel Ballou's fakes the shot, now skates to the middle, takes the shot, save made by Verbetic, and he holds on to it for stoppage in play. We played 4:18, and it's 2-0 Mississauga in the second.
Yeah, it's kind of wild when you mentioned no penalties in the game so far. The Battalion went the entire last game, which was against the Barrie Colts, a rival game as well, without getting a power play opportunity. And now the Troops so far are almost halfway through this game without a power play opportunity. So really strange numbers for sure in that one. But again, if you're not being penalized, it's not really affecting your play too much.
They have the second best power play in the league, so certainly down by 2 goals. Ryan Olahan would love to see that unit get out there, especially when you have 5 guys that have or almost scored 30 goals each. Play underway inside the Mississauga zone. It is picked up by Misa, and he comes down into the North Bay end, puts it on net, and Verbetic makes a stop. 4:44 off the clock in the second period. 2-0 Mississauga. Shots on the score sheet are 3-3 in the second, 14-7 overall for North Bay.
North Bay, though, it does feel like they have controlled pace of play, except for being that few moments where they were hemmed in their own zone. So, again, looking for some positives here. Well, the team is down 2-0, and again, you have to think the team is just looking for a way to try and solve Bastion. A feat they have done before, but it has been a while.
And again, this is a Mississauga team that was leading the Central Division for most of January and into February before the Battalion finally caught them and overtook them. And as we head down the stretch now, the Battalion trying to solidify their spot as the second place team in the Eastern Conference. Delbel Ballou's racing out of the Mississauga zone down into the North Bay end. Play in the far side corner. Mathurin there trying to get Delbel Ballou's off the puck. He finds it in his skates, but then Uberti's there. It's knocked off his stick by Arnsby, and he sends it around to the near side by Wakely. Wakely sends it out of the zone. Brand will pick it up for Mississauga behind his own net. And it's Schwint going the other way. Sends it up to Pruder. Pruder at the blue line. Plays it on the half boards to Schwint. Down to the point. Brandt takes a shot. It goes off of Podolou and then into the corner. Picked up by Vecchia, and his shot is blocked in front of the net. Now Callahan carries it behind the net. Callahan down the left wing side. Plays it back into the corner for Schwint. Schwint plays it to the point to Callahan. He tries to come back into the zone, but it's blocked by Podolou, and now this puck is on the stick of Tarasevic, who clears the zone. He goes into the Mississauga end and plays it off the end boards. Behind the net, puck is turned over. Callahan gets it for the Steelheads, and Callahan fires it off the glass and out to the neutral zone. 6.5 gone in the second period. Mississauga up 2-0 as North Bay dumps it down the ice. Podolou on the half boards. Flips it back around behind the net. Blocked there by Brand of the Steelheads, who gets it up to Pruder. Pruder will clear the zone as he finds Dodig. Dodig skating down the middle. Now goes to the right side. But Vecchia was a couple of steps ahead of him. And so offside is the call against Mississauga with 6:45 gone in the second.
That was a rather slow developing offside as Vecchia was just kind of trying to glide to a stop, and eventually he did stop, but he was a couple of feet into the Battalion zone, so of course he was in there first, and that's an offside call.
North Bay win the draw and dump it down. Larson plays it to the far side, now back out to the neutral zone to Misa. He gets it down the left wing side for Beck, driving to the net, and Beck is knocked down by Romani. Nice to see the younger guys getting physical over the last couple of weeks for the North Bay Battalion. Now it's Del Mastro on the blue line. He dumps it in behind the net. Play picked up on the near side by Nelson. Gets checked in the boards, but still maintains puck possession, trying to feed it down to the line. It's picked up there by Misa of the Steelheads. He plays it behind the net. Now Winslow holding his man there. 7.5 gone in the period. And the puck's still stuck on the end boards. A couple of guys on either side digging away. It finally comes free. Nelson chips it to the far side. Outwater waiting for the puck. Gets hit by Del Mastro. And the puck gets kicked back in behind the net. Picked up there by Nelson. And Nelson will skate it down his left wing side. And he clears it up ahead to Outwater coming in. He falls on top of the puck on his knees. He gets a backhanded chance. It's stopped, and then Seema at the side of the net with a chance. And he gets blocked as well. Well, it's going to be a penalty for the... Yeah, Mississauga is going to get the power play here. I mean, Outwater looked like Bambi on ice there as the shot comes in. Save made by Verbetic. But I mean, he stepped on the puck, then he started falling and somehow still maintained possession. Got up, backhanded it, then Seema got a chance. And somewhere in that, the Battalion committed a foul.
Yep, and it looks like it's Seema that's going into the box, so now is a good time to give you the penalty kill numbers for the Battalion at 80.7, 6th in the league. And the power play numbers are 21.1%, 11th in the league for the Mississauga Steelheads. And something new, we don't have the graphic for you ready, but our penalty kill is brought to you by Puck Support. Check out pucksupport.com for all your wonderful merchandise to support a great cause for mental health and addiction awareness.
Mississauga with control, up by 2, up by a man as well. It's Uberti on the half boards in the near side. Sends it to the middle. Hardy's shot is stopped. Good save by Verbetic, just throwing out the shoulder in amongst the traffic, and the puck is cleared down the ice. Hardy with a quick release, and we have seen that over the years here with James Hardy here with the Mississauga Steelheads. Mississauga come back in the zone. 40 seconds gone in the Mississauga power play. Uberti in the middle, takes a shot, deflected to the near side boards. Picked up and now sent to the blue line. Now over to Del Belbaluz, walking in the shot, save made by Verbetic. Catches it off his chest and into his glove. And now a lot of rough stuff going on right in front of the net. The official's going to get in the way here. And we'll see if anything gets awarded to either team. And as you said earlier, Courtney, the Battalion have now gone 4.5 periods without getting a power play.
Yeah, very strange, and you kind of start to think, maybe, the hockey gods are angry at us, but a power play opportunity for the Troops to do wonders, I think, as they're very good at moving the puck around. They hold the second best power play in the league right now, but they just need to worry about killing off this penalty kill right now without taking any more penalties.
There was a point in the 1920 season where they went something like 7 or 8 games, and they only got 1 power play per game. I don't know if you remember that, but it was also at a point in the season, where they had a lot of road games, and they just felt like, okay, something's got to give here.
Yeah, I really try to block out a lot from that season.
Sent down the ice. It's in the possession of the goaltender Basran, and so under a minute to play now on the Mississauga power play with 10.5 to go in the second period. Mississauga trying to build on their 2-goal lead, and they've got it now. Larson at the line to the right side, back down to the point to Larson, fakes the shot to the left side. Lavoie's shot deflected wide. Picked up on the far side boards. Mississauga in control again. They carry it in behind the net. Mathurin tries to break up the play. Loose puck picked up by Tarasevich, and he gets it to line. Larson keeps it in. Across to Lavoie now. Lavoie's shot is in and out of the glove of Verbetic, or maybe it went off the face of check that, of Xander Vecchia, set up in front of the net. He is slow to go to the bench, and now Bjork Vikholm comes all the way back down the ice, and he goes offside, and Vecchia is headed straight to the locker room. And I mean, good effort for him. Looks like he took the puck off the mouth, and he tried desperately to get over the blue line to avoid the offside, but it just wasn't going to happen.
No, and you know what? At first, he wasn't getting up at all, so it was good to see him get up, and especially in one of those moments, as we do see the shot come and it hits him. It looks like in the top of the head, actually, so it never got to Verbetic at all. So, yeah, good to see him get up on his own power, and hopefully we'll get to see him back in this game.
All I can say is at least there's some padding on the top of the head compared. There's Coe with a shot. I was going to say compared to the bottom of the mouth, but you are wearing a mouth guard. Here comes Winslow with a shot, and that one goes wide. On the half boards, down to the point, Lukin to the middle to Coe. Coe fans on the shot, and now Mississauga going the other way. Misa plays it to the right side, and they go offside. And we've played half of this second period, and it's still 2-0 Mississauga. Let's send things over to Derek for a catch-up.
Nothing has changed through the first 10.5 minutes here of the second period. The North Bay Battalion still find themselves trailing the Mississauga Steelheads by a score of 2-0. In the second intermission, I'll be joined again by Bob Coles. We'll have a look around the OHL. 2 other games on tap, as they are both Western Conference games, but the main one is the Sarnia Sting taking on the Erie Otters. They're tied at 4 as they are battling for that 8th and final playoff spot in the Western Conference. And also yesterday, during media availability, our own Bob Coles was able to catch up with overager Grayson Ladd and rookie netminer Dom DeVincentis, and we'll hear those interviews coming up in the second intermission. Now for the final of the second period, let's rejoin Matt Sukram and Courtney Kenny.
Thank you very much, Derek. And unlike the first half of the second period, let's hope that you have something to update us with a little bit more in the out of town, or the scoreboard update at the second intermission. So no score here, of course. Mississauga's clawed it back a little bit in the shot total, as it's 14-11 now in favor of the Troops, with 9:11 left on the clock in the second period. Matt.
And the Battalion, right after the power play ended for the Mississauga Steelheads, they had some good puck movement, but I think they only got 1 shot out of all of that.
Yeah, very strange. You want to get some more chances that create some rebounds, or, heck, maybe even gets in the back of the net.
The Battalion's still stuck at 14 shots as this puck goes out of play, and according to the online score sheet, they haven't had a shot. That can't be right. Since the 3:16 minute of this second period? Oh, that's what it says on the score sheet.
Oh, they just got one there with Nelson before it was redirected into the netting.
Yeah, only 3 shots in the period. 14-11 in that category for North Bay. Jackson falls down in the corner, gets the puck back to the half boards, but it's picked off there by Hardy of the Steelheads. He sends it around the net, and now it's up to Uberti. Uberti to Del Balbaluz, going one-on-one in the zone. Del Balbaluz lost the puck on the back check from Avery Winslow, getting involved for the Battalion and taking away a scoring chance there. And now the Battalion on the counterattack. It's Russell going the other way, but it's knocked off his stick going into the zone. Sets around to the near side. It clears the zone, and Ladd will pick it up behind his own blue line. Dumped into the Mississauga zone, and the goaltender Bassran will leave it for Del Mastro, who sends it down the ice. Chipped into the zone by Dodick into the corner. They try to center it. That play got blocked by Podolou of the Battalion. And now Podolou behind the net looking for the puck. It's down the point. Shot comes in from Brand, and that gets deflected wide. And now Callahan on the far side flips it back in behind the net. Picked up in the corner by Ladd. Out to the neutral zone. Brand flips it forward. Beck with it now. Beck coming down the middle. Takes a shot. It's off the stick of Verbetic. Played off the top of the glass and back down in behind the net. Podolou has it, and he skates out of the zone with it. Podolou down into the Mississauga zone, but the puck got left behind, and so he avoids the delayed offside call. Falling down, he gets it over to Petrov. Petrov coming in, takes a shot, kicks a made, and then he punches it out of the air, and then he gloves it down. The circus is in town, and Bassran is the center attraction.
Oh my goodness, what a call, Matt. That's all I can say after that one. Bassran really doing what he can to really keep his team in it, as the Battalion were putting some pressure on him for sure. And again, Matt, the master of ceremonies here, so to speak, with the great call here with the circus act that is Roman Bassran in net. And with all due respect, the circus act that is Roman Bassran in net.
So he kicked it, then he slapped it away with his stick, and then he caught it as well. Bob Cole saying, looks like Johnny Bench there. I mean, it is opening day, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
He plays for the big blue and white machine, I guess.
Nicely done. 7:15 to go in the second period. It's still 2-0 Mississauga. And Mississauga get the puck out of the zone. Pruder down the other way. He's got Schwint with him. Pruder over to Schwint, and he can't get a shot off. And he just, I don't think he even connected with the puck. And now after the play, the Battalion are going to get penalized for hooking. Van Steensel going to the box. But, I mean, that one, Schwint, I don't know. I mean, I felt like that was a good defensive play, but Van Steensel's going to get penalized for it.
Yeah, so I don't want to be mean, but that's a really weak call. Come on. Like, I'm with the fans on this one. As we see the replay here, you know, Van Steensel just got his stick up.
It's a stick check.
Yeah, it's a great play by Owen Van Steensel. And you know what? If I'm Ryan Houlihan, I'm happy with that play. I'm happy with that play, and now your guy's going to sit for 2 minutes in the box. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
And here's the thing. Because of the way his stick is, you can't call it a slash because he lifts the stick. So then your arm goes up, and then you're thinking, okay, well, I have to call it a hook. But he never technically got his blade around the guy. So that's... well, the call either way leads to Mississauga's second power play of the game, second consecutive here, and they're looking to build on their 2-goal lead, and they've got control of the puck inside the North Bay zone. It's Uberti to the point. Larson's shot comes in. Verbetic makes the save, and Verbetic, that's going to be his 9th save of the period. He has looked really sharp in this second period.
He has indeed, and the Battalion have needed him to, because in the first period, you know, 4 shots against and 4 shots on goal and 2 goals against. That's not very good numbers. Now, if you're a batter in baseball and you're going 2 for 4, hey, you're having a great day at the plate. But as a goaltender, going 2 for 4, not so much.
North Bay win the draw. Arnsby skating out of the zone with it. Arnsby gets slashed, but no call. Arnsby puts it in front of the net to Sarasevich, but it's blocked by the goaltender Bassran. Almost an identical play that led to the Mississauga power play, but the Battalion don't get the call. And now it's cleared down the ice by the captain Arnsby. That's a great shift. Shorthanded by number 11. A minute remaining on the Mississauga power play. They're 0 for 1 on the evening, but they're up 2-0 on the night with 6 minutes to play in the second. It is in the corner. Uberti has it. Down to the point for Del Mastro. He plays it back behind the net for Beck. He tries to send it out in front. It's chipped away, and the Battalion get the loose puck and clear it down the ice. Bassran in the face-off circle. He can't control the puck, but Del Mastro comes in to help him out with it with Coe right on his heels. But Del Mastro is able to get it out away from him and sends it up to Pruder, who kicks it into the zone. It's all the way down into the end boards and is picked up there by Schwint. He plays it to the half boards to Lavoie. Lavoie getting checked here along the boards. He gets it down to Del Mastro at the blue line. Across the right side, back to the near side, down the point. Del Mastro shot, save made. Rebound chance is kicked away as well. 2 huge pad saves made by Jumbo Joe Verbetic, and it's cleared back down the ice with 10 seconds remaining on the power play. This could be a huge momentum turner here for the Battalion if they can get out of this one with the score 2-0. And here they go down the ice. Petrov down the left wing side. Centers for Jackson. He's hooked. And the puck is in the net. Kyle Jackson. It's a 30-goal season for the Ottawa area kid. And he joined the hallowed halls of Battalion goal scorers in the 2021-2022 season. It's a 5th 30-goal campaign for a North Bay Battalion skater this season.
You know what's really funny about that play is you had made a comment when they were going down the ice. They went down there, and you were saying, oh, it'd be a great momentum booster for the Battalion if they're able to make it out of this power play or penalty kill, still down 2-0. Still down 2-0, and I was thinking as they were rushing down the ice, wouldn't it be great if they made it out of this down 2-1? And sure enough, Kyle Jackson being able to pot that goal, Matt, and get the Battalion back to within 1.
Look out, that puck is flipped way up over the glass and out of play. Hitting the brick wall here at Memorial Gardens. That is actually impressive to do. I mean, that puck had some speed on it to go all the way down there. Here's the crazy thing about that goal. I did not see an official's hand go up.
Me neither. I was getting to the point where I was getting annoyed, and then next thing, oh, it's in the net. Okay, we'll take that.
Yeah, you will. I mean, right, so now you're 2 for 2 on the penalty kill. You haven't had a power play, but somehow it's a 2-1 game. So with 4.5 to play, the Battalion are just down by a goal. Here comes Sema. He puts it on net. Goes wide of the mark as he was trying to find Romani, but he picks it up on the half boards. Romani being held to over there. He falls down with some assistance of the Steelheads there, and Mississauga clear the puck. Now it's down the other way. Mississauga get the puck into the North Bay zone. In the far side corner, they control it. Uberti has it. In and out of the corner. Lukin holds him there. Romani joining in. Boy, I've liked the physical play of Romani in the last couple of weeks. He is earning his ice time, that's for sure. The points haven't been there all the time, but he's a presence when he's out there.
That fourth line is definitely getting more physical, and that's something that you like to see at this time of year for sure from that line.
3:40 to play in the period. North Bay trying to get the puck out of the zone. They turn it over. It's Del Belbaluz in the corner. He tries to center it down the point. Bjork Vikholm's shot is stopped. Rebound from behind the net, and that's denied as well. Now center to Hardy, and Verbetic with another glove save. 3:30 to play in the second. It's 2-1 Mississauga.
Well, we keep referencing the Golden Glove of Joe Verbetic, and I guess it's pretty easy to talk about now considering today's Major League Baseball's opening day. So Joe Verbetic, once again with that Golden Glove, really coming in the clutch for the Battalion, and he has stood tall. We touched on it earlier this second period, but he has stood tall when the team has really needed him to here in this second period.
Yeah, especially after that first power play. Mississauga did a good job in the offensive zone, and Verbetic made some key saves to keep this game 2-0. North Bay bring the puck out of the zone. It's Coe down the left wing side. Coe gets around a defender, drives to the net, carries it behind the net, sends it in front, but it's stopped by the goaltender Bassran. 3:12 remaining in the second period. 2-1 Mississauga.
Brandon Coe trying to do it all on his own on that play, but I mean, Mississauga did a very good job of taking away his options for sure. So, you know, you can't really fault him for holding on to it, but that line's going to get another chance out here as well with Kyle Jackson, the goal scorer, coming in for the faceoff against Owen Beck.
So it's Jackson, McDonald, Coe, Petrov, and Russell. 30 goals, at least 30 goals by all 5 guys. Russell 2 away from 40. Play back underway in front of the North Bay net, bouncing around, and Verbetic finds it.
Yeah, you definitely want to see Mitch Russell get to 40 goals here in his final season in the OHL. He's had a great season, and again, I've mentioned this before on the broadcast, I mentioned this before on the podcast, and I mentioned this before in group chats on the broadcast as well. I don't think anybody in North Bay is regretting that Adam McMaster for Mitch Russell trade at this point of the year.
And it's funny because the first 2 years after the trade, their statistics were incredibly similar. But Mitch Russell has certainly shot up over that, and that's with a missed season as well, with last year being canceled. Sent around on the near side. Shot comes in. Stop made by Bassran, and then he punches Tarasevic with his glove.
I think he got him with the stick, actually.
Oh,
I think he speared him, but I mean, it's not a spear because it's more of a cross check. Wow. That's
because it's the blade, not the butt end of the stick, right? So.
Wow, I can't believe he got away with that one.
Yeah, there's some chatting going on up here in the press box. I mean, yeah, I'm surprised. I'm very surprised that wasn't a call either.
Isn't it fun to get reanimated in these games, though, as compared to like the last 5 years where it was like, oh, well, whatever, the type of thing?
I mean, we still had fun, but there wasn't as much on the line, really. I mean, this is the first big game in a long time here, as far as regular season goes anyway. Down to the point, Tarasevic, check that, Mathurin there. Gets it knocked away from his stick, and Schwint finds the puck, he sends it down the ice. Offside is the call against the Mississauga Steelheads going into the zone. So 2:20 to play in the second period. Mississauga up 2-1. Both their goals coming, though, in the first period. And now, head coach Ryan Olahan wants the faceoff to be inside, or to be at the blue line in the Steelhead zone. But instead, they're putting it right at center ice.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Ryan Olahan doesn't know what's going on. So we're just going to play some hockey.
Callahan takes a hard check into the far side boards right off the draw. And now the puck is sent into the Mississauga zone. The Battalion have been very physical coming down that wing throughout this game. Wakely to the neutral zone. He finds Arnsby coming over the blue line. Drops it back to Van Steensel. Van Steensel with room. Takes a shot. It's deflected over the glass and out of play with 1:53 to go in the second.
What a great chance for Van Steensel off a nifty play that started with Wakely at his own blue line as he got it up through the neutral zone. Was able to find Arnsby. And then, of course, Van Steensel coming in and had a great chance from just on the blue line side of the slot. Unfortunately, a Steelheads player got his stick in the way. And the shot goes up into the curtains here, or I should say the netting with 1:53 left in the second period.
The Steelheads have been dominating in the faceoff circle, 21-13, and that's something I know that General Manager Adam Dennis and head coach Ryan Olahan have been trying to work on over the last 2 seasons of play. There's a shot off the draw from Nelson. It jumps over the stick of Bassran and behind the net. Now Wakely in front, and he buries it. Dolan Wakely ties the game at 2 in the second period.
Dolan Wakely getting goals in 3 straight games now, up on that line with filling in for Kyle McDonald. That's now his 17th of the season, and you got the sense that this place was a powder keg, and if the Battalion were going to score, it was going to erupt. And that's exactly what has happened here, as Wakely got a great shot away on some great efforts by his line mates from Liam Arnsby all the way through to Dallin Wakely. So what a great chance for the two of them. And, of course, the shot attempt that came from Ty Nelson at the blue line.
Well, how about this? It's Wakely sending it to Arnsby, dropping it to Van Steensel, getting the puck on net, forcing the offensive zone draw, and the Battalion, we just mentioned it, have not been great in the faceoff circle tonight. They win an important draw that leads to a goal. The statistic is 40% of your goals are scored immediately after winning an offensive zone draw. Well, those numbers will ring a little more true for the North Bay Battalion in this one. 2-2. Time winding down in the second. Tarasevic kicks it to Petrov, and his shot is blocked by Bassran. What an athletic play by the youngster Tarasevic. Now Podolou tries to put it on net. That gets blocked. Tarasevic picks it up in the middle, drops it to the line, finds Ladd, who punches it to the far side boards. Shot comes in, and it's wide of the net. Out to the neutral zone. Winslow dumps it in with 50 seconds to play in the second. 2-2 tie as Hardy brings it in to the North Bay zone. Tries to play it in front of the net. Ladd with a great defensive play to block the pass and get it out to Coe. Down the right wing side, tries to cut to the middle. That gets stopped. Now Jackson follows it to the half boards. He goes into the corner. Jackson tries to center it. It gets kicked away. Now Coe finds it behind the net. He skates down to the point, finds Mather in there. Mather's shot comes in just wide, left side. Puck ricochet to the blue line. Nelson keeps it in. He puts it towards the net, blocked by Del Mastro, who gets it out of the zone. Del Mastro down the left wing side into the attacking zone. He goes in behind the net, tries to center, nobody there. Picked up by Coe, who's got 10 seconds to go. Coe coming in over the blue line, but a good job by Lavoie to break up that play. He sends it to the far side, boards to Del Mastro. He gets it up to Lavoie, coming in with 2 seconds to go, in front to Schwint, and he runs out of time before he can get a shot off. The Battalion trailed by 2 going into the second. They come all the way back to tie it at 2 at the end of the second. And after 40 minutes, we're back on even footing, all squared going into the third.
Well, this is pretty fun. I gotta say, this has been a heck of a game. At least the final 20 minutes that we just saw was pretty fun. The first 20 minutes we could do without, but the Battalion doing a great job coming back in this one. And to take you through all that fun stuff and more, we're gonna send things back over to Bob Coles to take you through your second intermission. Mr. Bob.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're going to hear from a couple of Battalion players, Grayson Ladd and Dom DiVicentis. And we're going to talk to Derek Lindemann in a moment about some big turning points possibly in that second period for the Battalion. Around the OHL tonight, just 2 other games. Sarnia leading Erie 5-4. They're just going to start the third, and Guelph and Windsor are tied at 2. They're going to start the second period. Of course, in this one, we are tied at 2. Both goals in that period from North Bay Sticks. Shots were 13-11 Mississauga. North Bay's outshot the Steelheads 22-17. 2 power plays in the game for Mississauga, none for North Bay. No goals with the man advantage. 22-15 the face-offs won for the visitors. The goals in the first period for Mississauga, James Hardy and Kai Schwint. For North Bay, Kyle Jackson became the 5th Battalion player with 30 goals this year, from Matvey Petrov, Tanias Mather, and of course we got Brandon Coe, we got Mitchell Russell. Just checking here. Who else we got, Derek? It's Kyle McDonald. Who's the other one?
It's Jackson, Russell, Coe, McDonald.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and then the other stat that I posted in our group chat was first time in North Bay history we've seen 4 guys register 60 points in a single season. It's the first time it's happened since 08-09 for the Battalion franchise. 4 guys, 60 points in one season.
I mean, that's crazy. You got to have, it's basically a third of the skaters have 30 goals on this team, but great stuff for Kyle Jackson. And remember, he missed a lot of injury time with a hit in Hamilton in early December. So Petrov and Mather an assist on the first North Bay goal, and then Dallin Wakely, who doesn't always play on the first or second line. 17th goal of the year in his initial campaign. Liam Arnsby and Ty Nelson at 18-14. But I thought the turning point was they killed a penalty, and then there was a play at the Mississauga zone. Looked like a slash that the Battalion took, no call. Comes down a few minutes later. There is a call against the Battalion. They kill that penalty. Joe Verbetic made a huge save when it was 2-0. You had the feeling that Mississauga was saying, we got to get one more. We know this team could come back. They didn't get that third one, and the Battalion come back. They score on the Jackson goal, and then Wakely ties it up late, just 146. But there's a lot to go over, Derek, in that period. What stands out for you?
To me, it's first of all, the play of Joe Verbetic. That last power play, for sure, he was the best penalty killer of the team. He made that big save off the point and then was able to get that left leg out for that rebound save. And then it goes down the other way, and you look like maybe a call coming for the Battalion there as Jackson gets hauled down in front of the net, but then somehow the puck goes in behind Bassarin. That opens up the gates, and then another bouncing puck. Dallin Wakely finding it and just putting it in. 2-2 the score, and everything was going right for the North Bay Battalion other than taking those 2 penalties in that second.
I have a feeling, though, that Brandon Coe is coming in the third period. He started to have some really good shifts. No points for him, but I just got that sense that Brandon Coe's about to do something special here tonight.
He looks to have his legs going tonight. He's going down strong down the boards on those wings and trying to get to the front of the net. He's skating hard. That whole line is playing well, cycling the puck inside the Steelhead zone, just unable to capitalize, just a little unlucky with the puck as he's trying to get it away on net, but things are looking good for Brandon Coe. He's looking to get to that 100-point mark. He's 3 points shy of it, and that will be quite the accomplishment for Brandon Coe.
Updating the Powassan Voodoos, they trail Hearst after 2 in the opener. Their playoff set 2-1. Game 3 and 4 will be in Powassan on Sunday and Monday. Well, yesterday we had a chance to visit with, we talked about Kyle McDonald with 30 goals, one of the 5 Battalion players, of course, came over in a trade with Grayson Ladd. We had a chance to visit with Grayson Ladd yesterday, and let's hear that now.
Grayson, you're 1 point away really from clinching a big milestone for this hockey team. What's the talk been amongst the guys the last few days?
I think we're pretty excited. Obviously, like you said, we're 1 point away, so the win tomorrow will probably do it. So we've played Niagara a few times the last couple of weeks too, so that's exciting to know that we kind of know who they are and we know what they're about. Or Mississauga, yeah, sorry. But yeah, we know what they're about, and we know their systems quite well. So Uli's got a good plan in place for us, and I think we'll do well against Mississauga tomorrow night for sure.
Coming over here from another team, what did you notice right when you got here? Because it seems the guys that have come here from elsewhere this season, they fit right in. There wasn't an adjustment period. What did you notice right away when you got in the room and met your teammates?
I think it's just a bunch of good group of guys. I knew Cozy and Russ a little bit just from playing against them, and then obviously the young group is really close and tight knit with the older group. And I think I've never really been a part of a team like that. And then obviously it has to do with the coaches staff too, right? We have unbelievable coaches here in Uli, Billy, and Razor, and obviously Adam Dennis has a really good group and really good systems here in North Bay. So I think it's just kind of easier to walk into that, and knowing that I've already been traded before, I kind of knew it was going to be like, and I also came with my good buddy Mac too. So I think that's kind of kudos to the system and to the place that's here in North Bay, and then obviously the teammates too.
Have you said anything, and maybe it's too early for this, as a guy who, because there was no hockey last year, you've played in playoff games, and sometimes young teams, when they have great regular season success, they're not ready to realize what the playoffs are like. You know what the playoffs are like. If you're going to say anything, or is that up to the coaches to say?
I think it's not going to take long for them to figure it out, right? It'll take the first couple shifts, and they'll realize how much amped up it is and how much faster paced the play is going to be. So I think I'll help them out if I need to. Obviously, Uli and them will do they'll do their part and their say. But for sure, I think they'll figure it out kind of on their own and realize how amped up and special the playoffs really are.
You just mentioned how close the team is. How do you think that leads to, or that helps your guys' success on the ice?
I think just knowing each other off the ice is a big part of that, and like Uli says, we're always up playing ping pong with each other or doing something off the ice with each other. So I think that bond will really help us out, and I think it's shown this year for sure.
I know it's a long way away and it may never happen, but on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited would you be to play the Windsor Spitfires in the OHL final?
That'd obviously be pretty special. I know Mac will get to go back there I guess next year, but I won't. So that'd be pretty special obviously to be able to go back there and hopefully obviously beat him in a series. That'd be really cool.
This isn't normal, right? Like another chemistry question, but it seems it's not normal for a team just to be in the position you're in, potentially clinching a division tomorrow, pretty healthy. Are you going to say anything like you can't take this for granted because every year may not be like that, right?
Oh, 100%. I think, you never take anything for granted. I think, last year was kind of a testament to that because with COVID, right? So, obviously this is my last year, my last kind of kick at the can. So I want to do the most that I can do and be the biggest part that I can be. And then obviously, like you said, like Renzo says, this group's never going to be together again. So we want to do something special for sure and, hopefully take it as far as we can.
Thank you.
And that was Grayson Ladd yesterday, a guy that maybe people haven't been talking about him a lot, but it's just a night. He seems like a guy back there on the back end, gives him a lot of leadership. He's been through the ups and downs of an OHL career, the good, the bad, and now he wants to finish his career on a high note. What have you noticed about Grayson Ladd this year?
really like his poise since coming over. He seems to be a very solid overager on that back end, doing a great job in the leadership role with those young defensemen. A great job with, like the likes of Ty Nelson, Tanias Mather, and just teaching them the fine necessary positioning in the defensive zone. He's always been one known for his defensive play first. He doesn't rack up many points, but he certainly does quite well in the defensive zone, and that's something that he's going to pass on to those young defensemen here with the North Bay Battalion.
Okay, we also talked to Dom DiVincentis yesterday. Dom not playing tonight, but he's been in a lot of big games. May play Saturday night in Barrie. We'll see. But let's hear what Dom had to say.
How would you assess your rookie season? I mean, it's a rookie season for a lot of people, but as a rookie goalie, it's always a challenge. But most games you've actually met the challenge. Are you happy with what you've played or how you've played this year?
Absolutely. I mean, I think for me, obviously for all of us having a COVID year where we didn't get much game action, for me, I think coming into the season was a big adjustment. I couldn't be happier with the team I'm on and all the development and practices that we got together. And yeah, I'm super happy with how my season has gone, and just getting into playoff time now, it's starting to ramp it up and finish the season strong.
You mentioned playoff time. I know it's not for a little bit still, but of course you are a rookie. But how are you feeling heading into that part of the season?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I couldn't be happier with the group of guys we're with. I think we're a very hardworking team. We're all ready to go, and for me, just it's another game, and that's all I'm going to really treat it as.
The relationship, I mean, both goalies have been great this year, you and Joe. The relationship in terms of, getting better with Joe, could you sort of take us into that?
Yeah, like I've mentioned before, Joe and I have a really healthy relationship on and off the ice. We're constantly pushing each other to get better each and every day, on and off the ice. And I think obviously having that relationship off the ice helps out a lot, pushing each other on the ice. And it's always, like I said, it's a healthy relationship, and we're constantly competing against each other to make each other better.
What are the coaching staff, when they work with you, what do they want you to do better, and what are they most happy with?
Well, I mean, they're most happy with, I think, my gameplay and the way that I'm constantly preparing on and off the ice. But to get better, I think obviously there's everything in my game to improve on. Nothing's perfect within my game, and just constantly looking to get better each and every day with everything.
Grayson mentioned how close the team is overall, and specifically the rookies and the young guys. Can you speak a little bit about that? What is it like in the room, and maybe just like as you guys hang out on a regular day?
Yeah, Grayson's right. I mean, we have a really healthy relationship between rookies and vets, and I think that's why we've had so much success this year with our team, is because of how close we are as a group. And I mean, not many teams are like us, where we're constantly hanging out with each other outside of the rink. And I mean, that's why I think we're going to be doing so well in this pro season, is because of how close we are, and that's what it takes to win a championship, is such a tight team.
Adversity, you guys have dealt with that, right? I mean, it hasn't been, in one direction the whole season. You went through a stretch where you weren't winning, you've been hot, you've been playing really well lately. So in the room, how have you guys dealt with sort of some of the, on-ice challenges, off-ice challenges as the season's gone along?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like every team in the league and throughout all seasons, adversity is definitely a thing everyone will face. For us, obviously, we've had injuries throughout the season, and I like to use adversity, and I know the boys in the room like to use adversity as a way of motivation. And it opens up opportunities for the younger guys and for everyone on the team to step up and give the coaching staff some kids to rely on. And I think that is the most important for our team, is to use our adversity as a way to motivate us.
Dom, have you seen any of the jackets that Nick has worn after games? Any thoughts about that?
The best guy in the league.
One more for you. What would winning the division this year, getting that number 2 seed, say about this team, do you think?
I think that just puts a statement on how good of our team we have up in front of us. And I mean, obviously, without the COVID year, the team hasn't really been able to show so much improvement, but I think Adam Dennis and the coaching staff have put a great team in front of us and great organization here in North Bay. And I think for us, winning the division is just a statement. It's just a start to our postseason and how good we're going to do in the playoffs.
Okay, thanks, Tom.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know. I think Dom DeVincentis, if he doesn't make All-Star teams this year, might make the All-Interview team. He's a great talk, great interviewer, and great responses from Dom yesterday. He's worked really well with Joe Verbetic, and Battalion so strong, a 1-2 punch. I don't know if there are any teams in the OHL with a better 1-2 punch. Maybe Mississauga, who knows, but it's pretty tight between these teams. Both teams have goaltending strengths throughout the lineup, so great stuff from Dom. And we talked to Grayson Ladd earlier, and it's about the veterans and finding the chemistry with young players, old players. Dallin Wakely's a guy that, he hasn't been on the top two lines a lot this year, but he's got 17 goals, and he's getting big goals now.
Yeah, Dallin Wakely, one of the top and bright spots of this North Bay Battalion team. According to Courtney Kenny, he's probably the best second rounder ever taken here by the North Bay Battalion, as he's got. And I know there was a full house today of scouts down in the media room, and coming up before the game, a couple asked me about Dallin Wakely and just talked about how his stock is on the rise in this NHL draft. He's eligible this year. They had lots of great things to say about him. They really liked his hockey IQ, how well he sees the ice, and he's a smart hockey player. And we get to see that here in every game, in and out, in Memorial Gardens. And it was so nice to see him honored before tonight's game with the Humanitarian Award. What a great young lad this is. He does great things for his community. He did a great job organizing the Indigenous game here, and just so open and a great gentleman to talk to, and his family's at almost every game. There's going to be a bright future for Dallin Wakely here.
Yeah, he's one of those guys you say, I can't believe that guy was picked in the second round. And he's already proving it this year. Huge goal there as the Battalion try to get this comeback and wrap up the Central Division. Mississauga trying to prolong things. We don't know all the scenarios, but there is a scenario where North Bay can clinch tonight, where North Bay can't clinch tonight, or you have to wait to clinch because of the tiebreakers and all those things. So regardless, it's going to be an exciting third period. North Bay trying to wrap up the division for the first time in 8 years tonight. Mississauga will play their second last game of the season on Saturday against Kingston. So they need 2 points in regulation to keep their hopes alive. We'll find out what happens. To call it, here's Matt and Courtney.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bob Coles and Mr. Derek Lindemann, for that, taking us through the second intermission. And a final 20 minutes to go, assuming we don't head towards overtime. And, of course, the gentleman who's going to have the call for this final 20 minutes is Mr. Matt Sukram. Everyone's a Mr. tonight, Matt.
I don't know where to go with that, but okay. Better to be a mister than a see you later?
Yeah, I guess so.
Here comes Winslow, sending it in towards the net. Goes off his skate and goes into the corner. 20 seconds in, and the Steelheads get it out of the zone. There's a shot towards Verbetic, and he turns it aside. Picked up in the far side corner by Nelson. It's up to Coe, now to Russell, coming down the left wing side, over the blue line, over the middle. His shot gets blocked. Larson getting right in the way of that one. Back down to the blue line and cleared out of the zone. Mathurin to the near side to Winslow. Up to Russell over the blue line. His shot wide of the net. Coe in the corner, flips it back around to the near side. Chasing it is Mathurin, trying to hold it on the boards against Lavoie. He finds Jackson in the middle. He tries a shot. Too much traffic in front there. It's caught up in some skates, picked up by Beck, and he'll head out of the zone with speed. Beck gets up to the blue line, finds Lavoie, who dumps it in. Played in behind the net by Verbetic, the goaltender, who gets it up ahead to Arnsby. Arnsby finds Van Steensel racing down the left wing. Van Steensel trying to go to the net, but a good back check play on and a poke check made, I believe, by Chase Sharp, who was at the end of that play for the Steelheads. Puck still in the corner. That's Wakely there now, and Arnsby as well, trying to control the puck. He gets knocked away from that area and cleared out of the zone by Mississauga. Schwint dumping it in, a minute 40 into the third. 2-2 the tie as Van Steensel for the Battalion sends it back towards the Mississauga net. Picked up back there by Callahan. He sends it down to Stubbs. Stubbs, long stretch pass down the ice. Bruder in behind the defense. Bruder, the toe drag, puts it behind Verbetic, and he somehow finds it but doesn't cover it up. Puck still loose. It goes into the near side corner. Verbetic's leg pad is completely off, and the play is finally blown down. I don't think I've ever seen that piece of equipment come loose before.
Yeah, I was just going to say that is one of the strangest things I've ever seen in this game, or in this game of hockey, especially being around the North Bay Battalion all these years and the Powassan Voodoos. But as Joe Verbetic kind of gets resituated in his net and gets his pads back on, I honestly have no words to say after that one.
Between the North Bay Trappers, the Nipissing Lakers, the Powassan Voodoos, the North Bay Battalion, I might be missing a team in there, but I've covered a lot of hockey in North Bay. I've never seen that happen. That is... I
mean, that's going to be a meme coming up for sure,
so,
100%.
Great play by Bruder.
Oh, 100%, yes.
Just waited out the goaltender, and, Verbetic did his best to stay with him. Didn't allow the puck to go in, and then the puck was never completely covered up. It went in the corner, and then because of the equipment issue, that bought the Battalion some time here. But the Mississauga Steelheads win the draw, but they can't get a shot towards the net, and now North Bay dump it down the ice. 2:40 into the period, 2-2 the score as Mississauga get it back out. Stubbs dumps it down. Picked up by Lukin. He sends it up ahead to Tarasevic. Down the left wing side for Petrov. Petrov coming in, going into the corner. Sets it to Ponalu, who fires it wide. Tarasevic on the rebound. He cannot bury it. I don't know how that one didn't go in. The goaltender Bass ran at his back, turned to the puck, and the entire left side post uncovered. And yet somehow Tarasevic couldn't bury it. Tarasevic coming down again, drags it around behind his back, drops it back to line to Winslow. Across to Nelson, the shot comes in. It's into the chest of Bassran, who holds on to it for stoppage in play. Courtney, we saw Josh Rosenzweig a week ago put on a clinic in net for the Niagara Ice Dogs in a losing effort. Bassran might be outdoing him with a couple of his saves tonight.
Yeah, what a great sequence for Bassran. I wonder if he even he didn't even get a piece of it. It was his defenseman in the blue paint, as we see the replay here, who was able to get it as the puck was coming in. But yeah, no, Josh Rosenzweig a week ago, and Bassran again having a solid game for the Steelheads.
Mississauga win the face-off. Vecchia brings it down the ice, brings it to the middle, and then on the back check, it's Russell breaking up the play. Sent around to the near side, and North Bay get the puck out of the zone. It's Jackson leading a 3-on-2 into the zone. He finds Russell down the right wing side. He goes in behind the net. Play broken up back there, and the Steelheads are able to clear. It's touched in the neutral zone, and so icing will be waved off as Nelson gets to the puck for the Battalion. He sends it down the ice looking for Russell at the blue line. Puck is chipped away off his stick, and it's now Beck going into the net. Beck sends it in front, but Schwint can't get a piece of it. Picked up on the half boards by Schwint. He plays it back in along the end boards, and it's Winslow in there to break it up. Winslow gets checked, and the puck goes in the corner. Lavoie is there. He sends it to the far side, kept in the zone by Brand, and he sends it behind the net. Picked up back there by the Battalion. Jackson sends it out to the neutral zone to Coe, and Coe dumps it into the Mississauga zone. Outwater can't get to the puck for North Bay, and that allows Beck to go back the other way. He finds Pruder. Pruder comes over the blue line. He fans on the shot, and North Bay pick up the loose puck. It's Outwater in the neutral zone. He's trying to find Mathern in the middle. His pass is blocked. It goes back to the half boards. Now to the middle. Romani on it for North Bay. He can't get a shot off. The puck goes to the far side boards. Ladd is there. He carries it in the corner. Now along the end boards. Leaves it there. Trying to find Romani, but Beck breaks up the play. Beck falls down. North Bay back in possession on the half boards. It's Romani in control. He tries to center it. No one there. Ladd picks it up at the point. His shot is stopped. Into the middle. Romani there looking to get a shot off. He carries it to the circle. to the goal line. Pass out in front. Nobody there for North Bay. Mathurin at the line. Sends it back in behind the net for Outwater again. Outwater trying to battle Beck for the puck. It comes down to the point and cleared out of the zone. 5:20 into the period. 2-2 the score in the third as North Bay dump it right back in. Lavoie and Ladd having words in the neutral zone, and they'll just skate to their respective benches. Puck still inside the Mississauga zone. It's Van Steensel in control on the half boards. He tries to find Arnsby. That gets broken up, and Mississauga go the other way. It's Callahan down the left wing side trying to find Stubbs. Back, check that was Misa. Misa has control in the corner. He gets hit hard. North Bay trying to get the puck out of the zone, and they do. In the neutral zone, it's turned over. Uberti, a dangerous player for the Steelheads, trying to bring it over the blue line. Knocked off his stick. Arnsby finds it and gets it out to the neutral zone. 6 minutes into the period, 2-2 still in the third, as the Steelheads play it back to their own netminder, and Baxter had to be quick there to make sure the puck didn't get put behind him. Out to the neutral zone. Couple of hard stick checks. The puck gets flipped up into the bench, and we'll have a stoppage in play with 6:12 gone.
Wakely and Stubbs exchanging words as well as they go off the ice. But I just wanted to highlight, it was a couple of minutes ago, but I just wanted to highlight that shift by that fourth line for the North Bay Battalion, who basically, they didn't get many shots, but they basically held the ice dog, or now I'm doing it, the Steelheads into their own zone for the majority of that. And that's what you want from that fourth line, is to give you some energy and keep the puck 200 feet away from your net.
Well, they used to be, years ago, the Mississauga Ice Dogs, and we just played the Ice Dogs on Thursday.
Yes.
That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
I appreciate that one.
Here comes Vecchia into the zone. Drops it back. The shot from Hardy is stopped by Verbetic. Hardy's had a good game for the Steelheads, including the opening goal, his 39th of the season. Play still in the zone. Vecchia throws the body on Winslow, but Podolu finds the puck behind the net for North Bay. He gets it up to Nelson. Nelson gets it up to the blue line, but they can't clear. It's controlled by Del Belbaluz, plays it to the left side. Hardy back in the middle. Del Belbaluz can't get a good shot off, and North Bay takes it away, and they get out of the zone with it. It's Petrov down the left wing side, skating in behind the net. Plays it to the corner, trying to find Tarasevic, but it's knocked away from his stick and cleared out of the zone. Now it's Grayson Ladd at his own blue line for North Bay. He flips the puck forward. Petrov the first to it in the near side corner. He battles Del Mastro with it. It comes down to the point. Picked up there by Jackson. Jackson for the Battalion, who scored his 30th of this season earlier, puts it towards the net. That's knocked away by Beck. Coe trying to find it. He gets it to Jackson in the middle, who plays it back to the corner. And it's Coe in that corner, battling Beck again. The puck goes to the far side. It's Ladd there for North Bay. He dumps it in behind the net. Russell's back there trying to find the puck. It gets knocked away from him, but it's Jackson on the far side boards. Back in the corner for Russell. Russell tries to play it to the point. Ladd lets it go by him, and it's cleared out of the zone. 8 minutes gone in the period. 2-2 the score. Russell on the half boards. Sends it to the corner. Jackson there. He's held there by Larson. Coe trying to help him out. This top line has been out there for quite some time now. Most of it in the offensive zone here as Coe finds the puck on the half boards. He gets tripped up, and that is going to be a power play for North Bay as Mississauga touches the puck. It's going to be the first time North Bay have the man advantage in this game, and it comes just about 8.5 minutes into the third period.
And the other thing about that for the Battalion is they'll have to start their second power play unit, as most of the top line is the first power play unit, so they're going to need to get some tired bodies off the ice. And this power play is proudly supported by the Noah Strong campaign, and the Noah Strong is committed to enhancing more lives of Ontarians waiting for life-saving transplants by advocating for organ and tissue donation consent. So here we go, the North Bay Battalion with their first power play in almost 2 games. So wild to think about.
North Bay win the draw. They get it to the net. Now behind the net. Wakely comes back out in front. Sends it to the point to Ladd. To the left side, to the right side circle, Back down the point to Ladd. Across the left side, Winslow. To the middle, Ladd takes a shot, deflected off a skate and into the corner. Wakely's there. He chips in the puck. It's caught by Van Steensel. He plays it down. Down to the half boards on the far side. Now to the point to Ladd. Across the left side, Winslow. Winslow walking in. To the point, Ladd. To the right side, Wakely. He controls it off the boards and now plays it behind the net. Arnsby is back there looking for the puck. Comes around to the near side half boards. Ladd takes a hard hit, but Arnsby finds the puck, skates the middle, finds Cole coming on the ice. His shot never got through the traffic, and Mississauga get up to the line, and they clear it down the ice. A minute remaining on the power play.
The Battalion have a 26.8% percentage on the power play, which is second in the league. However, Mississauga pretty stingy with their penalty kill at third in the league at 82.5%.
50 seconds remaining now in the North Bay power play with 10.5 to go in this 2-2 third period here at Memorial Gardens. Jackson down the left wing side, over the blue line to the right side to Coe. Tries to feed it back to Russell. That's broken up by Bjork Vikholm, and he dumps it down the ice. Verbetic behind his net will play it to the near side to Petrov. 4 of the 5 skaters out there have 30 goals or more for the Battalion. The only guy that doesn't is the defender Nelson, who's creeping up towards a 50-point season in his rookie campaign. Sent back down the ice and cleared again by Mississauga. 5 seconds to go on North Bay power play. And Nelson is thrown hard into the glass by Beck behind the net. He gets away from it, and now Beck follows him to the half boards, and he throws him in the glass again. Well, Beck out there looking for a physical shift, and he found one. But here comes Coe down the ice. His shot goes off his skate, goes way up high, somehow doesn't touch the LED lighting above the rafters here, and it comes back down in play in the Mississauga zone, and North Bay control it. It's Mathurin playing it behind the net, trying to find Jackson. He finds Russell in the circle across the Coe, and he can't get a shot off. He was right there on the doorstep, but lost control of the puck. Now he flips it across to the far side, play broken up by Schwint, and he clears the zone. Schwint going in, hip check made by Paul Christopoulos to get Schwint off the puck. And now it's Mathurin picking it up and clearing the zone. Sending it down the ice, takes a bounce off the boards, redirected towards Bassran, the netminder, and the Mississauga goaltender holds it for a stoppage in play. 8:44 to go in the third. It's 2-2, Derek.
Yeah, man, nothing here has changed so far in this first 11 minutes and 15 seconds of this third period of play. It's still 2-2 as the Battalion and Steelheads looking for that inevitable go-ahead goal here late in the third period of play. In the post-game, I'll be joined by Bob Coles as we recap tonight's game. We'll take a look around the OHL as there's one final already in the Western Conference. 5-4, the Sarnia Sting win over the Erie Otters. Sarnia now creeping into that 8th and final playoff spot in the Western Conference. And also we'll take a look at how things are going in the NOJHL playoffs as the Powassan Voodoos are playing up in Hearst for their first of the 7-game series. Now for the final 8-11 here of play from Memorial Gardens, let's rejoin Matt Sukram and Courtney Kenny.
8:44 left in the third period. There's 24 shots for the Battalion compared to 18 for the Steelheads, as Mr. Bob Coles is getting really into it and clapping his hands along with the music very well. He likes the music here at Memorial Gardens, and how can you argue with the selections they've had this season?
I mean, most of it has been good.
They play Welcome to the Jungle a lot.
That's true. There's a shot on net. Bassran has to make a shoulder save. It comes back down to the blue paint. Everybody looking for it. Now there's punches being thrown. The whistle has been blown. And now everybody's got somebody to dance with. Maybe they're anticipating Welcome to the Jungle coming on. Who knows? The official is getting in the way. And we'll see if anything gets called out of that. 8:37 to go in the third period. It's 2-2.
Doesn't look like anything's being called as nobody's going off the ice except for to make some line changes for the Steelheads. So, that's just a hard play by Arnsby going in there trying to get his rebound, and the Steelheads taking exception to it.
The Battalion off the draw, control the puck on the half boards. It's Wakely with a shot, and he fires it just wide. Now Nelson coming down the right wing half boards. He plays it to the net, takes a bounce off the boards, down to the point to Arnsby. Arnsby keeps it in the zone, throws a hit. The puck gets punched in the corner. Van Steensel's there looking for it, and now they're going to call a glove pass, I believe, against Arnsby. It was weird that they're saying nobody touched the puck before that happened, so the faceoff is going to going to come out of the zone. And with 8:18 to go, both teams looking for that goal to put them ahead. It's 2-2 in the third.
Yeah, Arnsby punching the puck ahead, and it looked for sure like the Steelheads defender may have gotten a piece of it before Van Steensel, but the call comes as a glove pass anyways, and we're underway just outside of the Steelheads zone.
Mississauga with another face-off win. Here comes Vecchia into the zone. He fires it wide. Picked up off the half boards, now back down and around to the near side corner. North Bay looks to get it out. In the neutral zone, it's picked up by Del Mastro. He comes over the blue line, tries to get to the front of the net, gets blocked. He'll try again, and this time it's broken up by Podolou. He sends it around to Petrov, who gets it out to Tarasevic, going in one-on-one in the zone. Tarasevic knocked down before he could get a shot off as he put on the brakes in the right side circle and never got a chance to get a shot away. 7:25 to go in the third period. 2-2 the score. And it's Lavoie getting the puck out of the zone, but Russell steals it at the blue line. Russell going in, drops it to Coe. Coe down the left wing side, turns, fires it towards the middle. That goes to the boards. Paul Christopoulos comes in and fires it wide. Picked up off the half boards by Russell, down to the point to Nelson. His backhanded shot is blocked, and the Mississauga Steelheads go the other way. Lavoie centers to Callahan. That play's broken up, and North Bay are able to get the puck out of the zone quickly. It is Nelson over the blue line. Lost it. Beck steals it. He finds Lavoie back down the right wing side. Christopoulos knocks it away from him, and it's sent to the neutral zone. And now Callahan will calm things down behind his own blue line. Finds Beck. Sent to the left side. Coming into the zone is Dodig. Finds Beck coming over the blue line. He goes into the corner. Beck still in control back there. He sends it to the point. Big slap shot coming in, and Verbetic makes the save and sends it to the corner. Beck throws an elbow, and Christopoulos goes down. And the puck gets up to the stick of Coe, who clears the zone, but Bjork Vikholm comes right back in, takes a shot, and Verbetic makes the save. 6:14 to play in the third, 2-2 the score.
Yeah, there have been a couple of calls here that have gone against the Battalion, or I should say non-calls, but at that hand as well, it hasn't gone against the Steelheads either, although the Steelheads do lead currently with the special teams with 2 power plays compared to 1 for the North Bay Battalion, so we'll have to see if that if that comes into effect later, but if the referees don't watch it, they could lose control of this game.
Play back underway as the Battalion trying to get the puck out of the zone off the face-off, and they will as Van Steensel carries it down the right wing side, dumping it into the Mississauga zone. Play back behind the net, now around to the near side. The puck comes out to the middle of the zone, but it's Pruder there for Mississauga. There's a hard hit way behind the play, right in front of the official, and neither Wakely nor Stubbs are going to be penalized for anything going on in the back end of the play, and at the foreground of the play, it's Verbetic making another save. That is his 18th of the game.
Yeah, not too bad after starting off giving up two goals on 4 shots. Verbetic has now stopped every shot since the first period against the Steelheads team. So Joe Verbetic really pulling his team through this one so far and giving them big saves exactly when they need it.
Face-off won by North Bay in the defensive zone. They get it up ahead to Wakely. Wakely had the tying goal back in the second period at 8:14 of the second period, and he carries it down the ice. Wakely looking for number 18 of the season, puts it on net, and it's up high, comes back down under the circle. Petrov's shot is blocked, and it is cleared out of the zone by Vecchia, who sends it into the North Bay end. Winslow gets to the puck first, fending off Vecchia, and he gets it around to the neutral zone. Picked up back there by Del Mastro, who sends it up to Del Bel Belouz. Down the right wing side on the half boards, Del Bel Belouz sends it to Vecchia in the corner. Ladd holds in there. Winslow digging away as well. Vecchia content to freeze that puck there with 5 minutes to play in this 2-2 game. That'll allow the Mississauga Steelheads to get some fresh legs out there as the puck is still in the corner. And the officials will finally blow the play dead.
That was a really, on one hand, I understand wanting to...
Sequences, I looked at the bench. The Battalion weren't happy with Ty Nelson's attempted backhand into the zone that led to the Mississauga Steelheads chance. And then they also weren't happy with Coe's shot getting it out of the zone, as it was just kind of a weak backhand to get out of the zone. And I looked at the bench, and there were some words being said between the coaching staff and those players. So, they look to those two guys as leaders, especially in a game like this, as the puck is fired over the glass and out of play, that they should know the rhythm and the tempo of the game. And those are the kinds of opportunities when you get the puck on your stick, you got to make a better play on it.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of leaders on this team, watching the bench right now, Ty Nelson just put an ice pack down the back of his chest protector, so he's feeling a little something here in this game, of course, and you have to think so with the amount of abuse he's taken as well. But the Battalion are definitely looking towards those guys for help.
There's a shot off the draw and a save made. Bassbrand throwing up the glove and catching that one for another stoppage in play. 2-2 the score, 4:24 to play, and number 24 has taken that ice pack off, and he's back out onto the ice.
Christopoulos and
the ice pack off, and he's on the yeah, that makes sense.
Christopoulos also having some words for Uberti as they cross paths on the way to the bench.
It's been a physical game, no doubt about that. 4:20 to play, and the Steelheads win another draw. Their 27th of the game as they dump it down the ice. Play inside the North Bay zone as Vecchia gets thrown into the boards by Winslow. The puck comes to the middle and cleared. Callahan was coming into the play late. I guess he was coming off the bench, and he tried to keep the puck in the zone, but it went skipping past him. And now the neutral zone, Arnsby takes a hard hit from Callahan as the puck goes into the North Bay end. Arnsby gets back up. He's now got control of the puck, and he gets it out to the neutral zone. Stubbs with it. Dumps it down the ice. Ladd, the first one to it in the North Bay zone, trying to get it out of the corner. Pruder hits him. The puck gets knocked away from that area as Nelson finds it behind the net. He sends it up ahead to Van Steensel. Van Steensel from the left wing side puts it in the corner. Wakely's there, centers it, but nobody there to get a shot off. And now it's the other way. Leading the charge down the ice is Uberti. Uberti behind the defense. Gets in front of the net, but a poke check save made by Verbetic. And now Mathurin on the counterattack for the Battalion tries to find Podolou, but it's knocked off his stick into the Mississauga zone. Picked up back there by Lavoie, and he dumps it into the North Bay end with 3. In the neutral zone, it's Mathurin with the puck. Getting up to Petrov. Behind the blue line, he finds Podolou on the half boards. His shot is stopped. Tarasevic finds it. He plays it in front of the net, but nobody there for North Bay. Out to the neutral zone, Winslow with it. He comes racing down the right wing side, getting it past Del Mastro and dumping it into the corner. Now Winslow takes a hard hit on the end boards as Del Mastro continues to pin him there. Tarasevic gets involved. He can't control the puck, and the Steelheads get the puck out of the zone. Bjork Vikholm was holding Tarasevic on the boards behind the play. The puck moves down the ice. Verbetic stops it, and that'll be the end of that one. I checked that they called icing on the play.
Very interesting here for sure, as there's definitely been a lot of missed calls or misplays, whatnot, between both teams, but instead, it hasn't really gone against it like I mentioned before, but the Battalion, it starts to seem like a lot of these calls are starting to pile up on missed calls against the Battalion.
Down to the point, Russell has it, fires it on net, glove save made by the goaltender Basserin.
A little bit of a start and stop here between the two teams over the last little bit. 2:03 left in the third period, all tied at 2, with 29 shots on goal by the Battalion and 20 on goal for the Steelheads. So we'll have to see how things go here with the final 120 seconds left on the clock.
2-2. A minute 50 remaining in the third. Stubbs dumps it into the North Bay end. Nelson had it there for a second, almost turned it over, but got it back and now clears the zone. He finds Jackson going into the zone. Kyle Jackson's shot is blocked off the skate of Larson, and then it went towards the net. Now it's behind the net. Mississauga has it, and they clear. Christopoulos sends it down to Jackson. Jackson to Russell. Russell plays it on net. but it's turned aside, and Lavoie skates it out of the zone with 1:10 to go. There's a shot on net. Glove save made by Verbetic.
Well, as the time slowly ekes away here in the third period, each shot on goal, each save becomes ever more important for these two teams. And of course, for Joe Verbetic getting a loud cheer with that glove save there, as with 1:09, he keeps the game tied at 2.
1:09 remaining in the third. North Bay win the draw, and they get it out quickly, but it's off the skate of Bjork Vikholm, and it's sent into the Mississauga zone where the Steelheads control it. They get it out. Beck takes a hit, gets it up to Hardy, who dumps it into the North Bay zone. The puck sent across to the near side of Christopoulos. He fires it up to Petrov, who deflects it in. On the far side boards, the Steelheads get it out. It's Beck with 40 seconds to go. He lost it in the neutral zone. Now it's Ladd who gets it up to the blue line. He dumps it in. In the corner, a couple players looking for it. It comes loose. Beck has it, clears it to the neutral zone. 30 seconds to play. Winslow has it behind his own blue line. He tries to clear it. That gets blocked, and now it's Del Belbaloo's going to the net. Drops it back. The shot stopped, and it's at the blue line, kept in the zone by Callahan. It's Winslow with it behind the net with 10 seconds to go. He sends it up ahead to Russell. Russell down the left wing side, trying to play it in front of the net. It goes behind the net with 2 seconds to go. Del Mastro in the corner, and we are going to overtime. 2-2 after 60 minutes of play.
Very interesting. We'll have to get our mathematician Derek on this one right away. Derek, do the Battalion, are they still able to clinch if they win in overtime?
Yes. What happens here is they currently sit with 84 points. 2 points will give them 86, and the most the Barrie Colts can get is 85, so it will clinch the Central Division with a victory even in overtime. A loss, though, makes things a little more interesting because technically all three teams could finish with 85 points and 39 wins combined between regulation and overtime, so it gets a little more interesting if they lose, but definitely an overtime win will clinch the Central Division.
So what you're saying is the league officials are really hoping that the Battalion win tonight so they can avoid that scenario.
Well, there's still another 4 games to play that the Battalion really only need one more point or a loss between the Barrie Colts and the Mississauga Steelheads.
Well, I'm more worried about what's going to happen, who's going to score the next goal, because both teams are getting great chances. Both teams came really close in the third period. I thought someone was going to win it in the last couple minutes. The officials have let a little stuff go, which means I know the fans wanted a call there or two, but it's not going to be a power play winner, that's for sure. So I don't know, both goalies are going to have to make those saves, but both teams are getting chances, so we could see this thing end early.
It's 3-on-3 overtime for the next 5 minutes unless somebody scores. And the Steelheads start out with the puck. Uberti racing down through the middle, gets toward the net, but Ladd pushes him outside at the last second there. And the Battalion turned the puck away from that scoring chance, and it's in the corner for Kyle Jackson. He's got 1 tonight already, 30 on the season now. Jackson out in front of his net, now coming down the left wing side into the neutral zone. At the blue line, he turns it over. He was looking to get the pass over to Petrov, but it didn't connect. And now it's Del Belbaloo's down the right wing side into the attacking zone. Cuts to the left side circle. Petrov on him. Del Belbaloo sends it to the near side to Larson. Larson holds it on the half board, sends it across to the far side. Beck coming in, wide open. The shot is stopped as it goes off the skate of Ladd, getting in the way of that shot from Beck. 4 minutes to play in the overtime period. Here comes Beck again. Drops it back to Hardy. His shot is stopped, and it's Coe getting in the way of that one. Now it's Russell out of the zone, down the left wing side. Russell plays it across to the far side boards. He got his signals crossed with Nelson, and that allows Mississauga just to pick up the loose puck off that errant pass. 3:40 to play in the overtime period. 2-2 the score. 3-man apiece on the ice. It's Lavoie down the right wing side with speed. Lavoie shoots, and Verbetic makes a save. He checked behind him, didn't realize it was in front of him, and now it's up to Russell going in on the left wing side. Russell fires! Save made by the goaltender, Basrin. Play inside the Mississauga zone. Two players of the Steelheads collide, but they maintain puck possession, and now those two players are going to get off the ice. Pruder and Lavoie. 3 minutes to play in this 3-on-3 overtime with 2-2 is the score. The Steelheads have had most of the puck possession in this overtime period so far, and they're holding it behind their own net. Uberti just waiting for the right moment, and he finally finds it and comes down the ice. Uberti down the middle to the right side circle. It's poked off his stick, and Del Bel-Belluz will carry it back, and Del Bel-Belluz will carry it all the way back into the slot of his own zone. Now he skates forward, trying to get around Winslow. He gets around him, fires it. It's behind Verbetic, but somehow doesn't get over the goal line. It bounced just wide of the net after bouncing in the blue paint. And now the Battalion on the counterattack. Wakely's shot is stopped. Still loose on the blue paint. And somehow the Steelheads clear it out of the area. Wakely gets it back. Finds Jackson down the middle. His shot is gloved down by the goaltender Basrin as it now goes up and over the glass and out of play. 2:06 to go in the overtime period.
I'm really surprised that they decided to not take a look at that against Verbetic, where the puck was in, just didn't cross the line. It looked like it almost got, it went, but from my angle, it looked like it got to the line, but I'm being told it went wide. So, okay, I can breathe a little bit easier with them not going back to look at that one.
What a save, though, by Basrin on the other end. That was a wicked shot from Wakely. North Bay win the draw in the Mississauga zone. Nelson will carry it out of the zone as he didn't like the options he had in front of him. He drops it back to the blue line to Jackson. Jackson plays it ahead to Petrov. Petrov into the attacking zone. He goes into the near side corner, drops it to the blue line to Jackson. Across to the right side, Nelson. To Jackson in the middle. It goes off his stick. And Jackson will chase it all the way out of the zone into his own end. 1:35 to go in the overtime period. It's Nelson in control of the puck. Ty Nelson down the middle to the left side into the attacking zone. Nelson gets around to the fender, but he runs out of real estate going in behind the net. He carries it down the right wing boards. He gets knocked off the puck, and it's a 2-on-1 for the Steelheads the other way. It's Beck down the right side. Pass across is blocked by Petrov. Matvei Petrov with a beautiful back check, but now Beck gets the puck back, and his shot is blocked by Verbetic. A minute to play as Coe is out there now for the Battalion. He's battling Hardy for the puck on the half boards. Coe wins that battle, drags it back into his own zone, and waits for some fresh teammates to get out there. He finds Russell down the right wing side with 50 seconds to play. Russell gets around a defender. Russell going to the net. He stays out wide and carries it behind the net. He tries to find Ladd. It's knocked away from his stick. Ladd tried to play it to the line. That gets blocked. And now it is Callahan the other way, one-on-one with Coe. Callahan gets around Coe, puts it on net. Verbetic makes the save. It's Hardy now with, check that, Vecchia. Sends it on net, shot wide. Rebound chance to the slot. Bjork Fickholm's shot is blocked as well. Verbetic is out of his net. Bjork Fickholm has the puck in the slot. He sends it to the right side to Misa. Cross-zone pass, Verbetic with the save. He goes post to post and puts the pad down to deny the Steelheads player on the far side. 10 seconds to go. The puck at the point. Bjork Fickholm coming in with a clean look. Tries a pass, and that gets blocked. And overtime is over. And somehow, some way, this game is still tied at 2.
Regardless of outcome, if Joe Verbetic, after starting really shaky, does not get a start tonight, well, we're going to have some words with the owner of the team as we pass things back over to Derek Lindemann and Bob Coles in between the overtime period and shootout.
Yeah, that was a crazy overtime, but it looked like both teams had scored, one on Basrin, one on Verbetic, and then North Bay just holding on at the end of the overtime, Derek, and living for the shootout. But what a crazy wild. You got to love 3-on-3.
3-on-3, it's exciting hockey, but let's not forget about the whole night in total. These youngsters didn't know what it was going to be like for OHL playoff hockey. Well, I think they definitely know now after this 60 minutes and then 5 minutes of 3-on-3. Sure has that playoff feel inside this building tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be all the goalies now for Verbetic, of course, of Basran, and both have been really sharp, especially in the third period and again in the overtime. They've managed to not let in that goal, and sometimes it's just surviving the shooters, guys. That's all you want to do, just survive. Fighting it off, have that battle intestinal fortitude, and both goalies really showed that in the overtime. So I'll really be interested in the order. Do the Battalion go first, or do they go second? And who do they use? And it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I like going first if you're the home team. You get that first goal, and then you get the pressure on the opposition. And definitely, if you get Joe to make a couple saves, you can actually win it before that third shooter could come out for the Mississauga Steelheads. The pressure definitely is on Mississauga, because no matter what, after tonight, the North Bay Battalion at worst could finish tied for first in the division. So really, the pressure is on the Steelheads, needing to win out, even if they pick up the win tonight in overtime or in shootout.
And if you're not coming to these games, folks, you're missing something special. I mean, you really got to. Playoffs are coming. This is just a start, and I haven't seen Matt Sukram this excited. Hey, I haven't seen Matt Sukram this excited in a couple of years. So there's a real passion. The crowd really into it, and lots of fun.
Well, it's like we were saying back in the first period and in the intermission. Courtney and I were talking about this has got to be the biggest regular season game the Battalion have played in the last 5 years. Derek, you agree?
Oh, definitely. This hasn't been this building at this loud and so important of a game really since that third season here in North Bay that the Battalion have been back.
I think we maybe narrowed it down that Justin Brazo's race to 60 goals would have been the last real big moment, but it's different when it's an individual success and a team success.
For me, it's Game 7 against the Petes was the last time you felt the nerves in this building for the Battalion, and you're feeling that tonight. That was Mike Amadio's big 50-goal year, and of course they wrapped it up winning Game 7 over the Petes here in this building on a Tuesday night. So should be a great shootout.
And shooting first is Matvey Petrov for the Battalion. He's had a great game tonight. Goes down the middle, back and forth, digs in front, but a poke save made by Basran.
Yeah,
go ahead.
We're harmonizing on that one. Petrov just kind of coming in a little bit too close, but still, just running out of real estate. And hopefully Verbetic can stop this one.
And it's James Hardy for the Steelheads. Starts out down the right side. Now stick handles in front. Kick save made by Jumbo Joe.
You have to think if you're Adam Dennis or Maverick Parks down there, the goaltending coach in the corner, they got their hands in their pocket. They're not cheering, but you got to think those palms are sweaty, knees weak. They're going to need some mom spaghetti.
I think mom spaghetti is on the menu tonight after the game. Here is Russell for the North Bay Battalion. Starts out down the left side, now cuts way back to the right side into the circle. Now in the slot, drags it, and scores! Russell goes flying over the blue paint and over top of Basran, who came out to make a poke check. He missed it, and he missed the puck as well. And the Battalion lead 1-0 in the shootout with Mississauga's second shooter coming up. It's Del Bell Ballouz, the shooter for the Steelheads now. Down the left side, into the circle. One more deke. Verbetic with a kick save. Verbetic was looking to his left side and then made the save, twirling around, kicking it out with his right side pad.
Have we ever seen a shootout save and save of the night for the OHL? Because that has to be in consideration.
That has to be it. And now Jackson with a chance to win it. Goes down the right side, now to the middle. Kyle Jackson shoots just wide.
So it comes down to Verbetic. Can he stay perfect here in the shootout? We'll have to see on this one. Very interesting, very nerve-wracking for Battalion fans. This is what you live for, though, at the start of training camp, is moments like this.
Zachary Lavoie has to score for Mississauga down the middle. He misses, and the Battalion are division champions in 2021-22 for the first time since their inaugural season in North Bay. The troops will be lifting a banner to the rafters. One will go up before next season. The Battalion will be looking to add a couple more as the postseason chase is officially on.
Wow, that was fun hockey, the last 40 minutes plus overtime. There's not much more I can really add to that one. I'm really excited to go talk to Ryan Houlihan and see how elated he is after that one. But you know, the real work starts now for the North Bay Battalion heading into the playoffs as we send things into Derek Lindeman and Bob Coles to take us through the postgame show. Gentlemen.
What a finish for the Battalion, down 2-0 in the second period. They came out a little flat, but boy did they rally. Kyle Jackson got them going. Wakely tied it at 2. A crazy third period. The crowd saluting these guys right now. Lots of hugs on the ice. Oh, this is the biggest thing that's happened to this city as far as the OHL in what? I would say about 6 years, right? What a finish for the Battalion. They go to overtime. Both teams have chances. The Battalion hold on to get to a shootout. Mitchell Russell with the shootout winner. Joe Verbetic clinches it with a huge save. And North Bay, Central Division champions. I don't know if you asked me back in September whether I thought they'd win their division. I was thinking, okay, home ice advantage in the first round. That was probably more realistic, but this team is ready to roll for the playoffs, and will be hosting the number 7 seed in the opening round.
That definitely, Bob. That was our, I think, consensus back in September when the season was getting underway, that hopes would be to try and battle for that 4th and home ice advantage in the first round. And Dallin Wakely just being saluted as the 3rd star of tonight's game. Just going to take a quick look. Second star is Joe Verbetic, playing unbelievable. Sure, he looked a little shaky in that first period, giving up 2 goals on 4 shots in the first 5.5 minutes, but he sure settled down. And that save he made on Luca Del Belbaluz, the second shooter of the shootout, unbelievable. The play by Joe Verbetic. And Kyle Jackson getting the 1st star of tonight's game. Bob, unbelievable. Those 3 guys definitely deserve those stars.
Verbetic's save when they were down 2-0 on the Mississauga power play. If he doesn't stop that, it's probably lights out, and North Bay's going to have to win the division on Saturday in Barrie. But he makes the save. They rally from behind, and Kyle Jackson, fully deserving, 5 30-goal scores. He's the 5th, despite all the games he missed. He's the number 1 star. Wakely, Dallin Wakely, 17 goals, his 17th of the year, tied it late in the second, and crazy goaltending in the third period, in the overtime, and the shootout by both goalies tonight. And Joe Verbetic, you said it, like, that's what you need to win these tough games. You need your goalie not to let in that next one that really determines the game, and he didn't. He shut them down after giving up the second one the rest of the way in North Bay. I tell you, year 1 was great. They made it all the way to the OHL final, losing in 5 games to Guelph. Year 2, they got to the Eastern Conference final. Year 3, they won a round over Peterborough, but it's been really quiet. They didn't even win 2 playoff games in any season since then, and they missed the playoffs a couple times. But tonight, they put their stamp on the OHL East right tonight, saying we're contenders and we're in great position for a good deep playoff run.
Yeah, and especially when you give a team like the Mississauga Steelheads those 2 goals at the start of the first period, and then you find yourself down basically 2-0 after 1, and you battle back, tying things up in the second. It's just a great team effort and just all around great atmosphere inside this building, and just to see how elated those guys were coming off the bench to celebrate the Central Division here at home, something that they weren't able to do the first time they clinched it back in that first season. They did it on the road in Sudbury.
And how about Mitchell Russell? Like, his winning goal in the shootout. But I know there are people having debates about who is the better first-round pick, Adam McMaster or Mitchell Russell. I think if you went around this building right now, I don't think there'd be much of a debate.
No, and when you look at what he and Petrov did, they did the exact same moves. Russell knew that poke check was going to come out off of the stick of Bassarin, and this time Russell knew it was coming, so he pulled it back and tucked it in on his backhand. That was the difference. He did the exact same thing. He knew what Bassarin was going to do, and he learned from the mistake that Petrov made.
Okay, if you went in that Battalion locker room and saying, who's going to make the game-saving defensive play, I guarantee your first three guesses aren't going to be Matvei Petrov, but that might have been the defensive play of the game.
Yeah, you know what, Matvei Petrov, unbelievable play. There was a minute 11 left in overtime, and it was basically a 2-on-1, and he was the defender back, and he laid down to block that pass coming out across. Just unbelievable play by Petrov, and just all-around team, laying it out, blocking shots. Christopoulos, I remember blocking another shot, and the play of Joe Verbetic again with the 30 seconds left in overtime to keep it tied up at 2. Let's bring in our producer, Ben Law. Ben, you've been watching the game. You're checking the level of noise in the building. You've been here for all these games this year. What's your sense of what this building was like here in the third period in the overtime in the shootout?
So, yeah, it got a lot louder in here than it's been all year. I noticed it with the mics, and I didn't have to have the crowd mic up so much just because the noise was just coming in through everyone's mics.
And that's great. And the game was fantastic, wasn't it?
Oh,
I mean,
it was a great game. The only thing I want to say is I've heard both Courtney and Derek now kind of say, Joe letting 2 goals in the first 4 shots, but he was hung out to dry on both of those.
He was.
Cross-crease pass to an open man, no chance there. Guy left alone in the low slot. You can't fault the goalie for either of those goals that was let in against him.
No, those were tough ones because I noticed Mississauga, because they had scored those 2 goals early, they weren't crashing the net in the game. They were taking those shots 8 to 10 feet out, looking for those real good angles because the Battalion were sort of backing up at times. But later in the game, I think the Battalion D realized, hey, we got to help our goalie out, and that's when we started seeing plays, Derek, where the Battalion just dove for the puck, just great defensive plays. Because, in the overtime, Mississauga's chances, I thought, were much better than North Bay's.
Oh, definitely Mississauga had the better chances. One just rolling outside the post, and then a couple more cross-crease saves that Joe had to make. He was the busier goaltender in overtime, but he was getting help, and basically the Battalion 3 players were keeping the other guys to the outside and allowing Verbetic to make those saves and easily get across to recognize where those shooting lanes were. He did a great job reading the plays and able to react to those passes.
So looking at the standings, North Bay now with 86 points. They've never had more than 85 since moving to North Bay. The Battalion, 85 in their second year here was the high, 83 the year they made it to the OHL final. That's their 40th win of the season, and they still got 4 games left, just 4 points shy of 90. And they lead Mississauga by 6, Barrie by 13, so Barrie or Mississauga cannot catch the North Bay Battalion. Wanted to tell you that Powassan lost tonight in Game 1 of the playoffs, 4-1 the final to Hearst. In the OHL, 1 final, Sarnia 5, Erie 4. And also Guelph lost 3-2 to Windsor. We'll want to give you the game stats. Of course, 2-0 Mississauga after 1. North Bay tied it with 2 in the second. No scoring in the third or overtime. North Bay with the only goal in the shootout to win 3-2. Shots on goal in the third, 7-4 Battalion, 5-1 Mississauga in the overtime. To back up what Derek said, 30-26 overall Battalion. Mississauga 0 for 2 in the power play. North Bay 0 for 1. And Mississauga 1 more faceoffs, 31-24. Again, Jackson, Verbetic, and Wakely were the stars tonight. James Hardy and Kai Schwint got Mississauga's goals. Jackson is 30th of the year. North Bay 530 goal scorers from Petrov and Mathurin. And Wakely 17th from Arnsby and Nelson at 18-14. And of course, the shootout story, the Battalion are victorious in the shootout. And James Hardy, Luca Del Bel-Baluz, and Zachary Lavoie all missed. Matvey Petrov missed. Mitchell Russell with the only goal in the shootout, and Kyle Jackson missed. So the Battalion win the season series over Mississauga, and I guess that's a pretty jubilant Battalion locker room right about now, Derek.
And definitely so, well deserving after the effort from tonight's game. And when you're looking ahead to the next 4 games, you got 2 against Oshawa. That's possibly one of the teams still with an opportunity that the Battalion can play. They currently sit in 6th spot in the Eastern Conference, 2 points ahead of the Ottawa 67. So when you're looking at the standings, Ottawa and Oshawa are probably the 2 teams that you're looking at, probably facing in the first round. But you can't really, you got to just live in the moment, celebrate the accomplishments of the Central Division, and know that you got work to do again in 2 days when you take on the Barrie Colts down in Barrie. It's not going to be an easy game because the Barrie Colts, they're looking to catch the Mississauga Steelheads for that 4th place and possibly home ice advantage. Those 2 teams are possibly Mississauga-Barrie going to meet up in that first round.
And I wonder if we can hook up Matt Sukram there and get his comment on the game. These games are important down the stretch, Matt, because not so much Barrie. Barrie's gonna show up. They've still got 6 games left. They want to be in good shape. There's no doubt about that. But I'm thinking of the 2 games with Oshawa. Battalion now really get to determine who they're going to play because they play Oshawa twice down the stretch. Right now they play Ottawa, but they're only separated by 2 points. So the Battalion still have something to play for in the next 4 games.
They certainly do, and I also think that it's going to be those guys on the 3rd and 4th line that are probably going to be getting more ice time and showing Ryan Olahan and the coaching staff really what they are made out of, and see if they can get more ice time going into the postseason. I think you're going to see over these next 4 games a lot of those younger guys getting ice time, just because I think you want to avoid potential injuries going into the postseason, and B, I think you give those older guys a chance to rest up. I mean, no one's really chasing any kind of record. I mean, Coe didn't get any points tonight, so he's still sitting in 8th all-time in points. He could jump up to 6th by the end of the season. He just needs 2 points to do that. He's sitting 3rd all-time in assists. He's three assists back of 3rd all-time in assists. So, but aside from that, I think everyone has accomplished their personal goals this year. I mean, the fact that you have 5 guys that have 30 goals or more, Russell's working on potentially a 40-goal season. Yeah, I think these next 4 games really are, it's not exhibition, because you're right. You are looking at a chance at trying to set yourself up for who you're going to see in the postseason, but you also don't want to give too much away to a team that you could potentially be seeing in the first round.
Matt, there have been very good years here. There have been very bad years here.
Yeah.
So they've run the gamut. But to me, on talent alone, I realize they have a lot to prove in the playoffs, and that's how they're ultimately going to be judged. But based on how they perform so far, this is the best regular season this team's had since moving to North Bay. Depending on how they do in their next 4 games, they could finish 9 points ahead of the previous best, which was 85 in year 2. So you've really got to compliment Ryan Olahan being hired as coach. You've got to compliment Adam Dennis with some of the picks he's made, the trades he's made. They do everything as a team here, both on the ice and in the office, and you really got to congratulate everybody in the organization who have they've turned this thing around in a real short time.
I do think this is the best team, at least, in the regular season, because that first year, I felt like they had one big line, and then the other lines, there was kind of a step back. Even though that 4th line had 3 19-year-olds on it, which is usually unheard of, and they were a really good grinding line. this team has 4 lines that can hurt you on both sides of the ice. I mean, just look at the Petrov back check late in the third period to break up a 2-on-1. I mean, and Petrov is right now the third line left winger, and then you had guys like Outwater, Romani, and Sema who every time they're on the ice it seems like they're in the offensive zone, making life difficult for the opposing goaltender, and they've been that way for the past month and a half now. So yeah, I mean, again, that first-year team obviously went as far as you can without actually making it to the Memorial Cup. But I think that on paper and through the eye test, this is probably the most talent across the roster that the Battalion have ever put together. And even on defense, I mean, you could play all 6 guys out there tonight in any situation. And again, you're not losing a step. Courtney talked about it off the top of the broadcast about how Mississauga, the last time they played them, there were guys on the third line getting 40 seconds of ice time. I don't have the clicker with me, but Outwater, Romani, and Sema for the North Bay Battalion certainly got more than 40 seconds of ice time against the Mississauga Steelheads tonight. So,
and Derek, it's just been wonderful to watch the growth of this team. I mean, in December they went through a stretch where they won 4 games.
Yeah,
and they had injuries and they were losing, and everyone was panicking and saying, what about these young guys? How do we know they're going to work out? What about this draft? Was it really good? And here they are, Central Division champions. It just shows you the patience that Adam Dennis and staff too. Charlie Abbott and the scouts and they've every guy that's come out, it looks like a good decision, right?
Yeah, and when you think back about that slump they had in January, and since then they've won 21 of 24 games, so they've only lost 3 games basically in their last 24 games. It's something that's really hard to believe and unheard of these days in junior hockey. And when you think about it, how well we've seen these kids improve this year. The majority of them are going to be back next year. We're only going to be losing a handful. We're going to see these kids grow even more next year. We're going to see the Ty Nelson come back next year. We're going to see Dallin Wakely again. Those players who are in their draft eligible year are going to get drafted, but then we're going to get to see them improve that much more when they get that NHL training camp experience and get to know what they need to work on. It's exciting times here in Memorial Gardens for this Battalion team.
Well, that's going to wrap it up. We went a little long today because of the historical nature of the Battalion's 2nd Central Division title since moving to North Bay. Congratulations to everybody. And our next broadcast will be a week from tonight against Oshawa, our final regular season broadcast. That's at 6:50. That's Fan Appreciation Night. They also recognize the billets, so it's a good night to be here and congratulate this team for their efforts. Their next game will be Saturday night in Barrie, and North Bay will not be able to catch Hamilton for the top seed. Is firmly entrenched into that number 2 spot when the playoffs start, and that'll be on around the 21st of April, the first playoff game, and it'll be here at Memorial Gardens. So stay tuned to the Battalion website for all that information. That's it for tonight. Again, North Bay wins in a shootout in a 3-2 final over Mississauga and wins the Central Division. We thank Courtney Kenny, Ben Long, Matt Sukram, and Derek Lindeman. I'm Bob Coles. Good night from Memorial Gardens.